I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Ground like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that is Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side, worldwide, we in your city. Keep it 150, we never change what's happening. Hurdle link
In any metric, Coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson in your
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, man. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
What up? The real Coach JB here, man, for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We are proud to announce we have a new ad sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports DFS platform in North America. We are one of the easiest and most exciting ways to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. How does it work, you ask? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you will win. Players can choose from a vast selection of sports and stat types not offered anywhere else. Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes college football. We're about to start up. Pro hockey, pro basketball, pro football. NFL season is here. Plus pro baseball, pro golf, men's college basketball, NCAA tournament, plus women's college basketball, soccer, women's pro basketball, esports, pro car racing, tennis, MMA, boxing, disc golf, you name it, we got it. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. Prize Picks does it all. And I just got to be honest, dog. I started doing Prize Picks, and I won instantly, and that's why I am endorsing Prize Picks to the fullest right here on the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Go to prizepicks.com/CoachJB and use Coach JB as the promo code for a first deposit match up to $100. So go to prizepicks.com/CoachJB and use code CoachJB for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks is the best betting app online in North America. Go get it and do what Coach JB and Big Smitty does every day. We bet Prize Picks. Head on over there, prizepicks.com/CoachJB and get you $100 match right now. Appreciate you. Peace. All right. What up, man? The real Coach JB in my single shirt, of course. We got a loaded show today. Don't trip. We're here. Big Smitty's hopefully getting his internet fixed. We will see. We shall see. But we're live every single day. This is Work Boot Wednesday, and we got a loaded show today. Jonathan Taylor, hurt thumb, opts to have surgery in the midst of a playoff run. Can't wait to dive into this with Big Smitty. Let's see if he takes the goggles off or not, because I want to see if Big Smitty does. We're going to also listen to Jesse Morris talk about it, so I'm going to have my pros and cons. We're going to break that down. Deion Sanders Jr. calls Danny Kanell a pure hoe. I can't wait to dive into this beef, the internet beef that we all love to watch. Mark Cuban sells the Mavericks for $3.5 billion. We're going to get into that. To a Las Vegas tycoon. The college football playoff is here. Florida State back in, Oregon and Ohio State and Texas all out. We're going to break that down. Bobby Petrino's back to Arkansas, this time as the OC. And, hey, I don't know if you guys know, but I know what happened in Arkansas when he was there. It's crazy how certain people get second chances. Some people don't. We're going to dive into it. Oregon State makes Bray the new head coach. Good, solid hire. I think he's been there. I think he wants to be there, and he doesn't feel that he has to be there. I think it's a good hire. The son of Craig Bray, an old friend of mine who used to be the defensive coordinator at Oregon State. I think it's a good hire. Jerry Jones' lawsuit refiled for defamation. We're going to dive into that. He continues to just get sued after lawsuit after lawsuit. How many kids he got out of wedlock, we don't know. Dobbs may not be the starter in Minnesota after all. Coach says whoever can get Jefferson the ball. A guy who hasn't played in 5 weeks in Jefferson, now we're worried about getting him the ball? Kind of blows my mind that he said that. Sean Lewis, new San Diego State head coach. Great hire. I think it's a good job. I'm glad Sean Lewis is out of Colorado. It makes you wonder why so many kids are decommitting at Colorado. We're going to dive into that. David Shaw could be the next head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to break that down as well. Good dude. The best available college coaching jobs that are open right now today. We're going to dive into that, plus the 12-team playoff. That is exactly what's wrong with college football. We're going to break that down. It's watered down beyond belief. Can't wait to dive into that. Plus, Max Crosby had an infected knee, goes to have surgery, and says, fuck it, I'm playing right now. Let's go make sure we look at this. This is an old school cat with an old soul, and you wonder why we probably get along. We got a little hell yeah, hell no. We got some white people shit, some black people shit, and also this is the Coach AB show with my main man, Big Smitty.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I think I got the signal figured out. Can you hear me, JB? Can you hear me?
Hey, because you know what the chat's been saying?
What?
Big Smitty lost his mojo, lost his energy. He don't have a fire. He don't have a pizzazz. Yeah, I've been seeing it, dog. I've been seeing it all over the place. Yeah.
Me losing my energy is like the sun not coming out. It's like
we don't talk, y'all. It's in here right now. Smitty's no energy.
Who in there talking crazy?
Talking passion for the show. I see all kinds of shit.
Why? It's talking crazy in the chat, but it ain't good. Okay, chat. You know what? I'm not gonna get pissed off about it. I'm gonna take the constructive criticism. I'm gonna store it here. I'm gonna make sure I learn from. I'm gonna listen to what you said, not how you said it, and I'm gonna make sure I bounce back today, man. That's all you can do. Ain't no point of crying.
By the way,
it's gonna bounce back and learn from it.
They may not even have said that. I don't know, but you know what? I do know. That's how you coach. You know what I'm saying? I just coached it up, and I don't even know if they said it, but guess what? That's how you motivate.
Baby, who's they? Who's they, JB? Who's they?
We don't know. We don't know. They say you got low testosterone because now that's the thing. These kids now, 17 to 21-year-olds got low testosterone now because Taco Bell and the weed. So you could be in that group.
I ain't had Taco Bell, and I can't tell you the last time I had a fucking Bell. What's it called? Nacho Bell Grind Day. I ain't had that in years.
And I just got I had a whole blood workup. Remember, I said my blood was the best. There was other parts of the blood test and urine test that I did came back like yesterday. Again, best in the country.
In the country?
Yeah, or the world maybe, but best in the country for sure. Best in the country for sure. Best piss test, best blood, no low T. I don't have low T. But
so what you saying, JB? If we had an Olympic battle for best blood in the world, you would represent the United States.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'd be the world champ, gold medal winner probably. But yeah, definitely getting into the tournament.
What's going on with your shirt right now, man?
Oh yeah, I got a little single shirt, man. I had to get this, had it made. I had a lot of shirts made, by the way. I got a lot of shirt game. I got a bunch of new shirts I'm gonna start breaking out again. Having the ability to do what you want, when you want, where you want. I think it means more than just single as far as man-woman relationship. I think this is way deeper than just that.
Okay.
I think it's deeper. Having the ability to do what you want, when you want, where you want is deeper than just single.
So are you saying when you're in a relationship, You in jail? Are you saying you're locked up? Are you saying you're not free to move the way you want to? Is that what you're saying right now?
I mean, I ain't saying nothing. That's what you're saying.
I ain't saying
you're
that.
saying. You married,
I'm happily married, man. I'm free to move, do what I want to do. If I want to hang out with JB, if I want to go to Sam, go to strip club, take money. If I want to go to the bar, I want to, I can move the way I want to move as long as I make sure I dedicate some time to my wife as well. That's all, man. That's all. So shout out to Alex E, man. Shout out to Alex E. I had to switch locations temporarily, man. I got some work going on in the other room. It's gonna take time as you build. Remember, JB was getting his house fixed up. Kind of compare this situation to that situation. I'm trying to get some flooring done because
I still ain't been paid for my goddamn insurance either. Still ain't fucking been paid. Slow asses. For
real?
Yeah, man.
It was like 2 years ago now. Fuck,
man. It's like crazy, dog. I've been out the pocket.
They trying to Netflix you.
Hey, please, Coach John P. Don't put me with in the same name. Don't put me with an assistant who I taught the game to. No, don't ever do that. Ever. I don't give a fuck where he's at or who he's. No. Don't ever put my name associated with a motherfucker that I trained how to do this thing.
He might be cold now, though. You might have trained him. He might be real good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit. All right. JB's Morning Rant brought to you by AQMS. Make sure you head on over to AQMS. Use the promo code 1-888-233-3110. If you need anything moved, car, furniture, house, whatever you need, AQMS, affordable quality moving and storage is the place to go. So head on over there, 1-888-233-3110, and tell them Coach JB sent you. All right. We got a lot to break down here. I got to get into my morning rant before we give you the quote of the day. Jonathan Taylor has an injured thumb. I get what Dr. Jesse Morris has said. Can we play Dr. Jesse Morris's video on Jonathan Taylor so I can totally take all the heat all day long? And when I
fantasy doctor. So we got an update on the Jonathan Taylor thumb injury situation. So it appears that he has a partially or fully torn ligament in his thumb. This is likely what we call the UCL, which basically controls the main part of the thumb. This is the same injury that Matthew Stafford had a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, he either partially or fully tore it, which means he needs surgery because he cannot hold on to the ball with his thumb without this ligament. It will not be stable. You cannot Band-Aid it. You cannot just inject it. You need to surgically repair it. And then they need to put what we call a brace in there. It is possible he returns in 2 weeks. I think it's very aggressive and a little risky. And it will take one hit to the helmet, one slap to the player, and that'll be it. That's done. So realistically, I think he could come back in 2 weeks. It's probably going to be closer to 3 weeks. I'm assuming Dr. Shin did it in LA. Stephen Shin is usually who does a lot of the pros. And realistically, we're going to see Zach Moss through the next 2-3 weeks and kind of go from there.
All right.
Talk to me, JB. Talk to me.
I get what Dr. Jesse Morris said about it. I respect Dr. Jesse Morris all day. We talked yesterday about it a little bit after the him and I talked. And I get why Smitty's going to take his side. But listen, fellas.
I didn't even say
they are in a fucking playoff hunt. He misses 3 to 4 weeks, or I think they're out. They're deflated. I think they're out. I think he's been kind of the morale boost in that organization. That's what I personally believe as a coach. And having that temperature of all the players in the landscape that I tell you I do have, that's why they don't want me to coach. I believe this is a big boost in that locker room, along with Gardner Minshew, of course.
So he was worth the money. Okay.
So, he deserved it. I don't know if he's worth it. So this is a guy, let's break it down. He already missed half the season. Then he slow played himself back into playing shape to come back finally, even though Zach Moss was balling. And this is the deal I have. This is the issue I have. This would go a long way in your locker room, Big Smitty, if I'm like, dog, I think, fuck it. I'm going to wrap it up, soft cast it. I'm going to play. I'm going to do the Tiki Barber. I'm going to put it in the other hand or put the bad thumb side down and put two hands on that motherfucker like we used to do old school when running backs were injured. There's no way in the world. Back to Tank from yesterday in Smitty's debate. Old school running backs were going to play this out. They were going to play this shit out this year and not take a 3 to 4 week hiatus. He ain't a quarterback, Big Smitty. He's not a wide receiver. He's a running back, homie. There's cast, soft cast, wrap. I understand what Dr. Jesse Morse just said. He can re-injure it. Guess what, dog? This is the boost that the Colts need. I'm just saying this. If you already missed half the season negotiating a contract dispute, and I know Big Smitty, I'm just saying to you, Big Smitty, it would have looked good, went a long way in the locker room, and possibly been the boost to get your Indianapolis Colts to the playoffs. Riding on the back of the future Gardner Minshew, of course. I truly believe that this would be huge in the locker room and say, look, dog, I'm going to play it out. We only got, 7 weeks left? If you go to the playoffs, maybe 8, 9. I mean, realistically, you at least get to the playoffs. At least get to the playoffs. So he misses 3 or 4 weeks. Matthew Stafford had this injury, Big Smitty, and was back playing as a quarterback. Like, come on, man. You've already missed a lot. This is what Tank and I were talking about the other day. I don't know, Big Smitty. I'm not feeling it. I think he should play. That's just me, because we're going to break down Max Crosby a little bit later. And Max Crosby had one of the nastiest infections in the knee, and nobody talked about it. Jesse Morse found out. I found out. And this motherfucker had surgery on Thursday and fucking played and said, hell no, you ain't stopping me from playing. That is the old school, old soul mentality that I wish football players had again, because, dog, I think he doesn't take his paycheck for granted. And I think we take our paychecks for granted every single day.
That's a strong take, JB. It's a strong take. Kudos to you.
Real simple and quick, cute, simple. I just wanted to give that to you.
Smooth, cute, simple. You know what I mean? I respect that. Listen, I'm not even here to argue with you. That's a good take. And if tomorrow was the playoffs, if tomorrow was the wild card game, I would be with you 1,000%. Buddy tape that thing, get a shot for pain, and get out there and go ahead and play. The fact of the matter is, we are in a great position. We're in the playoffs right now. If you look at our schedule, we have one of the easiest schedules remaining right now. Very, very winnable games the rest of the way. We have a very strong backup running back in Zach Moss, which earlier in the year, you were kind of saying, hey, why pay Jonathan Taylor when you got Zach Moss right here being one of the top rushers in the league? So because of a strong running back like that that we have in that room, I don't think JT needs to urgently just rush back. Why not miss 2 to 3 weeks max, come back pretty much 100%, and now you can finish out the season strong, get to the playoffs, and you're healthy, and you don't have something that's lingering that could potentially get worse, potentially lead to something else. Yeah, you know how it is, JB. When you have one thing injured, you start to overcompensate and do other things. Now you hurt something else, and it just starts to go down the line. And remember, JT just got back earlier this season from a long injury. I think it was an ankle and a back or something like that from last year. So when you've already dealt with that injury bug, so to speak, and you miss so much time, you're like, listen, I'm not dealing with that again. So whatever little knick-knack injury it is, let's get that shit figured out right now, solved, solidified. So I'm not missing full seasons or 7, 8, 9 games again, because I don't want to do that. I know how valuable I am. So it's a short-term sacrifice for long-term success. And I think Zach Moss and that O-line, which is one of the best O-lines in the league, can stay strong for 2 to 3 weeks, especially against this schedule. Like I said, we have the Titans, we got the Bengals without Burrow, and then you got the Steelers. Again, are these games that you could lose? Sure. I'm not saying these are just guaranteed wins, not at all. But these are also very winnable games as well. I'm not scared of any team I just listed just now. And then last thing, JB, before I let you go, you mentioned Max Crosby. We'll talk about him a little later, and you kind of compared the two situations. Everybody's pain tolerance, everybody's injury situation is different. My career ended on a lateral meniscus tear. I know I had so many teammates that had lateral meniscus tears and came back in 2 to 3 weeks. My roommate, wide receiver, shout out my guy Kevon, came back in like 2 weeks and during camp when he tore his meniscus. For some reason, Darnell was never hurt his whole career. Gets to my senior year, I tear my meniscus and like everything fucked up. I got to chipped patella. My knee just wouldn't recover. I'm trying to force it back. It wouldn't. No matter how tough I was, no matter how strong, and the knee was never right. It wasn't mental. It just literally was not right. So my point of bringing that up is let's stop comparing people's injuries and saying, well, he came back from an infection in 2 days. He played the same night he had surgery. Everybody is different, JB, and we can't compare everybody's situation. I'm done. I'm gonna keep it cute. It's showtime. It's showtime.
But we can compare paychecks, correct?
Sure.
Okay. So then I would say he should play because he got a paycheck. What you just said so eloquently is basically we overpaid you and really never needed you because Zach Moss is much more valuable to this roster than you are. So why would you take his side early on in the year and start defending him when I've been telling you he's a running back? They're a dime a dozen. And, dog, you're proving to me Zach Moss is definitely more valuable than Jonathan Taylor. And you just made a great point. You crushed it. You actually crushed the point. We don't need that motherfucker. He's horrific. We overpaid him. We got suckered. So he misses first half of the season in negotiation, gets hurt again, misses another game. Then he's back out. Now he's going to have surgery. You made a lot of excuses for a cat who has a lot of excuses. So I'm trying to figure out, did you realize you just helped?
What you trying to figure out, Jay? What you trying to figure out, Jay?
I appreciate you making my point for me. Dog, this is my point. He don't have like a fucking ACL. He don't have an MCL. He don't have a broken ankle. He has a thumb. Did you watch Tiki Barber late in the season when he got his thumb and he learned how to carry the rock, dog? He learned how to carry the rock with a new 5 points of pressure. So what we were doing is we tucked the ball right here under his forearm, thumb tucked out away. Why can't he do that? He doesn't want to do that. So look, to get the football, you're going to have to go through a lot. Now, this is what's real easy. You put the good thumb and hand over that. While this is already wrapped, casted, or you learn what Tiki did, you use your other hand. Is he so weak left-handed that he can't carry the rock at all and then cover with his right hand? What's wrong with this once you get to the line of scrimmage?
Who's running like this down the field
I
40
said
yards?
once you get to the line of scrimmage. I said, why can't you go through this? What we all were taught to do back in the day. When you get through the line of scrimmage into contact, why you can't do this?
You could do
I'm
it,
trying
baby.
to figure out
But
why this is so detrimental to a running back. The thumb. Why is this such an issue when I could do this?
The thumb is the most important finger on the hand, JB.
I got the ball like a motherfucker without the thumb. Look.
That motherfucker flat. You got a flat ball in your hand, JB. Stop.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So it's still the same size, dog. Look. Now it's pumped up. Look.
That thumb doing something now.
Thumb, homie. I don't need this thumb.
I hear you. Is the question, is it possible for him to play? Of course. If it's any finger injury and you're a running back, it's possible you can play. But like Dr. Jesse Morse also stated, who we trust, who we listen to every single Tuesday on Doc Talk Tuesdays, was on the show yesterday, he broke it down why it's also smart to let that thing heal a little bit. It's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, JB, 3 weeks max. So like, all I'm saying is Zach Moss can hold it down for 2 weeks. Come on now, 2 weeks.
I just think you're missing the point. He would have went a long way in the locker room and helped that whole team camaraderie. That camaraderie in that locker room could be so much tighter. Now they're gonna be like, man, this motherfucker missed more games than anybody.
Listen, I got an ear to the coach locker room, man. They love JT over there. Just know that.
We're in the fucking.
I know coaches. I know strength coaches over there. I got former teammates over from Ball State over there. I got an ear to strength.
We're in the jersey swap era. Everyone gets a trophy, so I get why they like them. Yeah. Moving on, Big Smitty. This is going to be an interesting debate right here, but let's get the quote of the day started off. Brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Quote of the day, Big Smitty. Your opinion doesn't change my reality.
Ooh, not at all.
Your opinion don't change my reality. Just FYI.
JB still making money. JB still doing what he want to do, live life. He got a big ass pool getting built in the backyard. He got a movie theater. He got a golf course. He got a full court basketball court. 3 dogs moving on the way.
I did some decorations last night.
Ooh, you got the Christmas.
Hey, can you get this in? I did my Christmas shit yesterday, dog.
What? I'm gonna take a picture of my tree too, so I can send it to
Bailey, I'm gonna send you this real quick. Can you put it in? Bailey, I texted you, Bailey. See if we can get that in real quick.
I text you, Bailey. Let's see if we can get this in, Bailey.
We don't need Smitty's, but we need my thing.
Bailey, my shit is priority. Don't worry about JB's.
We need my thing though.
My shit's priority.
So I did my lights outside.
Oh, we did the full light. Okay.
Yeah, so staple gun, get on the fucking 20-foot ladder, go around the whole house, move it little by little.
Hey, you a real old school cat. Like I respect that.
It ain't easy no more with me, dog, because I'm getting up there and I gotta come down the ladder every time. I move the ladder, I gotta go back up the ladder. I'm telling you right now, it feels like I squatted. It feels like I did 4 sets of 6 of like at least 5, 15. That's how I feel today. Back's out of whack, neck's fucked. Feels like I'm fucked today. But,
Hey, man, shout out to you, though, man. You are a hands-on, old-school cat. He will change your oil, fix your tires, put up the lights, build a new door. I'm from the new school. I'm from the, hey, how you doing? This is Darnell Smith. Could you come by my house, please, and put together this dresser for me? $90? No problem at all. See you tomorrow. Thanks. That's my generation right there. I pay for convenience.
Hey, contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Contrary to belief, most of the important things in the world, Big Smitty, have been accomplished by people who got knocked down and who got back up. Contrary to your belief.
Ooh, the
reason I say that to all you youngsters on TikTok, everybody out there, it wasn't just handed to you, soft pussies. We didn't just get shit handed to us and handed to us and handed to us for doing absolutely fucking nothing like all you guys expect. You guys understand something. I did a video yesterday. We did a short. It's going and taking off on Instagram. The transfer portal has ruined college football. Leads us to the poll question. Pound it, hit the like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Poll question for today. Has the transfer portal ruined college football? Big Smitty, yes, it has. And I don't care what anyone says. It ain't an NIL, it's a transfer portal. And that is truly what it is. Big Smitty, we're going to move on before I show you some things. We're going to move on to the next thing. And this is a very interesting debate.
Let's dive into
Everybody put it on. Jay Earn said, no, it hasn't. Of course he hasn't. Of course you haven't, Jay Earn, because you're an enabler. Who is this cat everybody's going off on? Who's this cat? Raleigh.
He said something crazy earlier, but I'm giving him a chance. I'm trying to give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to block it so quick.
Oh, no pitch. Oh, there he is. Essay. Raleigh, you essay?
Oh, yeah. He got. Hold on. Go pull him back up.
It's hard to see, but yeah, he a little fat.
I see his face.
Essay. A little fat Mexican.
That motherfucker used to get bullied when he was young. He ended up finally defending himself. He got a little older. People started respecting him.
He had good grades. He had good grades in school. He wanted to be hard.
Yeah.
His OG homie jumped him in. Right. He was a little bitch. He couldn't fight back. He took it and he fucking ran, told his mama and uncle and shit. And then they called him like a mamon and a fucking puto. And then he came back and was like, man, I'm hard for the set, La Raza, ese. And then he got his ass tattooed at the motherfucking corner market. And then he moved out of town where no one knew him.
Fresh
and
print.
Now he's back hard again.
Oh.
That's who he is.
I see what you're saying. That man, hey, he had Thanksgiving leftovers this morning.
Motherfucker is a bitch. Take your bitch ass up out of here, motherfucker.
He had Thanksgiving leftovers this morning.
I hate fake essays. See, I grew up with essays, real essays. I don't do fake essays. I can't do them. And that's a fake one because I already know he's a fake one. See, Ramiro knows. Ramiro's a real essay. Look, he knows the deal.
Ramiro Riojas. Shout out to Ramiro. Hey, I love Mexicans. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, Mexicans are cool as fuck. They culture cool. Their music be vibing. They party. They kind of similar to brothers in a sense, in terms of like just the music. The food is delicious. The swag to it.
Hey, baby, you got the MPS that I gave you earlier? Because I got some MPS shit right on time. So I got some MPS shit right on time. If we get it in, why not show it?
I think we should show it. If we got it, why not show it? It's the reason why you get it.
Yeah,
why get the money if you ain't gonna spend the money?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna show this. I think I got some MPS shit. Very, very perfect timing for this. Once Bailey gets it in.
What you saying? What you saying, Josh? Are you saying what?
Latinos pronounce NFL quarterbacks.
Primo, ¿cómo se llama este aquí? Es el mejor quarterback de todos los tiempos. Ese es Allen Hoot. Ale, ¿cómo se llama este aquí? Eso no es el bobolón de Doc Prescott. Ok, ¿y este aquí? Ese está ahí más o menos. No está bien. Kirk Cousins. Ok, ¿y este aquí, Ale? Papi, el más rápido ahora mismo ese es Jamal Jackson. ¿Y quién es este primo? Ese el novio de Cerea, ese es Russo Wisin. Ok, último, Ale. El más duro. Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, that's the Mexican people shit right there. MPS.
Somebody in the chat said those are Dominicans.
They might be.
That might be DPS.
Real quick, Hector, you already know East Coast Hispanic and West Coast totally different. Just FYI. Total ball game. See, y'all call it Dominican shit. Out here on the West Coast, dog, everyone is Mexican. Everybody on the West Coast.
Everyone.
Hey, everybody on the West Coast is Mexican.
Hey, if you Mexican, you in the chat, man, put an M right now in the chat. I want to see how many Mexicans we got in the chat. I'm talking about chips and salsa, guacamole, rice and beans. That's what I like to eat. If you Mexican, put it in the chat. I want to know.
Here we go, Big Smitty. Real quick, I got some. It's us today. Just us today.
I like that. The last few shows, it's been so loaded. I've been sitting there letting them talk.
We got producer. We got a whole show now.
We got a lot of messages in the chat. Look at this.
I didn't see. Let me see.
Boom.
Ruben, Triple M. Ruben was at the house the other day, by the way, with Steve and I. We played poker. Ruben won.
For real, shout out to Ruben. Ruben always win.
Yeah, Ruben won.
Kicking y'all out. Damn, we got a lot
of Mexicans. We just call Mexicans. Oh, yeah. All you Mexicans in here should fucking deposit some cash, at least some pesos, motherfucker. Get us some pesos. Here we go. We got a great show lined up, by the way. We're gonna drop this in here though. Grown man fucking business right here.
Who recorded that though? That's the bigger question.
I don't know.
You do this shit. Goddamn, I'm gonna staple the goddamn wire. I'll fucking waste.
I thought you were single, JB.
This fucking tree and all this shit. Look at this. I'm almost lateral. I'm out of shape. These fucking Christmas trees better.
And that motherfucker did not want to go up higher on that ladder, did he?
I was already up. Hey.
He didn't want to go higher on that ladder, y'all. He was nervous.
I was already up on the roof. I was up on the roof already. Shit. That's right in the front of my house in the corner. Hey, Jaron, whatever name. I was tired as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shit. I'm tired as hell.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a grind though. Putting you gotta really take your time to go through you got a big house too, like go through the entire. There go me right there. It ain't even lit up right now. I unplugged it. Beautiful. You got the fake snow over the top. You got the star.
What is that?
You know what that is.
That's a tree? Is that a fake tree?
It's a fake Christmas tree. Yes, sir.
I don't do fake.
We do fake trees out here. We don't do the real tree.
Anything.
I ain't got time for all that.
I don't do fake ass. I don't do fake titties. I don't do fake trees.
You do fake titties. You do fake titties.
No, I don't do fake titties though. You know, I spent $169 last night on a tree.
What?
On a regular real tree.
How much? 169?
169 for a 9-footer. Because I got vaulted 10-foot. I got a 9-footer because I could put the thing on the top. I got a 9-footer for 189. It came out to 180 or something tax.
You be spending that bread. You could have got you a fake tree for $50 down the street, decorate and make it look real nice.
You can't get no fake tree either. Fake tree's like $400.
Well, we've used the same tree for like years now, so I don't really know how much this thing costs. I don't get, but you get new trees. You get new trees every single year, huh?
Yeah, I get new tree. I love the smell. I love the real smell. As long as the ash don't go over there and piss on it like the motherfucker tried to do last night. I put it in the theater though. So I put the real tree in the theater, and then I put 2 smaller trees in the living room. All real.
All real. Shit. You better check make sure ain't no raccoon in that motherfucker run about it there.
Shit, dog. I shake that bitch out. I had to vacuum all night last night, vacuuming pine needles everywhere. But that's the Christmas of it, homie. Fuck a fake tree. That's the problem. We need to go back to all real trees.
I guess that's where we at now. I've always had a fake tree my whole life.
Pine needles. People don't want to lift and pick up and vacuum the pine needles. Back in the day, hey, that's what you guys do. The kids did it, right? Hey, you chores, clean the fucking pine needles up. All that shit.
Yeah,
come on. Hey, come on, there. Eric with the wrench is in that. He's up in the fucking, high mountain range, northern fucking Wisconsin. Come on. There's no animals. We don't have those animals out here.
You do got fucking reindeer where you at. You got all types of crazy animals when you going to JB's house. So I hear you, man. Hey, I love Christmas though. My wife really loves Christmas. She couldn't wait to put decorations up.
Hey, all right, let's get into some things here. We're gonna get into this thing. The transfer portal has ruined college football, but we're gonna roll into Deion Sanders Jr. Deion Sanders Jr. got into a Twitter beef with Danny Cannell. Danny Cannell, former NFL quarterback, Florida State. Danny Cannell said, should you storm the field after a win in overtime as a 24-point favorite, right? This was September 17th. Deion Sanders came out, said, you're a pure hoe. Now, I don't know. See, you may not take it as anything, and I dive deeper with all that's happening in Colorado right now.
Just for clarity, too, he said that a while ago.
Yeah, it was September 17th.
Got you.
But it came back up yesterday because they got into it again yesterday because Danny Cannell basically said he responded to RG3, who said, whether you like it or not, you're watching Colorado. Prime's done a hell of a job. He's done the most miraculous job and all this type of stuff. So RG3 came out and said some crazy shit again. Danny Cannell responded. And here's the issue. Danny Cannell, to me, is kind of a clickbaity, got some little bits in him. Okay?
He don't like Deion either, by the way.
Yeah. And for some reason, they got a Florida State beef.
I think Deion ended his career too in the NFL allegedly. Like the last, I don't know. It's like a funny joke online that his last.
Danny used to follow. He followed me and hit me up, and then I don't think I responded or something because I didn't know he hit me up. I had a shitload of DMs, and then the next thing I know, he unfollowed me. So I already know. He is. I know what kind of cat that is already, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I know who this cat is. So anyway, I'm not defending either one here. Here's the issue I have, though. As a father or a coach, there's no way in the world, dog, that I can get on the podium every day as Deion Sanders, prime Deion Sanders, senior, prime time, Neon Deion, and preach the gospel, Lord, faith. This is what we do here. And yet have the most undisciplined team in America, you allow your sons to talk to grown coaches on the field all day long, every single game, to the crowd, to the fans, to the opponents. Then you're still talking faith and discipline, but you have the most undisciplined team on the land. Power 5. It is the most undisciplined team in football. And then you allow your son to talk to grown, regardless if that grown man's a bitch or a hoe. You're my son, though, homie. You don't talk to grown men like that, dog. Shut the hell up. I got this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, This is me. I'm Deion Sanders. I can defend my motherfucking grown man self. That is my thing. Like, have a little bit of, like, to me, something's missing. Something is missing there. And I'm just an old school cat, Smitty. I'm about respect. I understand the old man in the room talking shit or whatever, and you taking it personal. You can still take it personal and talk your shit, but you a straight hoe to me shows me that the main man in the room lost his motherfucking way, lost his kid's way, and lost that locker room's way. That's just the truth of the matter as guy diving deeper than just a text on a tweet. That's all I'm saying. I think there's bigger picture to this, and it's steamrolling and snowballing into a bigger and bigger and bigger issue. Even though it's a small little tweet, you a hoe, it's still a matter of, do you talk to every grown-up like that? Do you allow every one of your kids to be involved in grown man decisions? Smitty, his kids are sitting there after the game when Deion's shaking the hands of the other head coach, looking at the other head coach talking shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, to me, it's like, get the fuck. I would have pushed my son, get the fuck out of here. That's me, though. We don't need to be involved in grown men business. That's the problem. We've allowed kids to be involved in grown men's business just because you gave them a $500,000 car. And this isn't Shador, but I'm talking, this is Deion's son who films everything and does all that shit.
That's why I want to jump in, like, just for clarity. I'm not saying you, just for everyone. Deion Jr. is a grown ass man. That's his oldest son. That's his oldest of everybody. I think he's older than me. I think he might be early 30s. So he is a grown ass man as well. And
he's 30, I think.
Yeah, so like,
and that's not my issue. Like, it's not that he just, okay, he's 30.
You're seeing the bigger picture, though. I see
you're
what
missing the whole point, though, Freddie Mac. He's the guy's son who's preaching the gospel to his locker room and his kids. Homie, don't tell me that Shador is any different than the 30-year-old. He's the same motherfucking way. So don't you see there's a trend, homie? There's a trend here. And it starts at the top and shit rolls downhill if you didn't know that or not. So while you're all defending the motherfucker, I'm just telling the truth. And you're going to see as it implodes little by little. By the way, I spoke to very, very interesting folks last night. I'm telling you right now, it's not all glitter and gold up that motherfucker. I'm just telling you right now. And I think Matt's starting to see it. I think people are starting to see it. More decommits yesterday. And we're going to get to Sean Lewis. But I just want to dive into that and get your take on Deion Sanders Jr., albeit 30 years old, albeit 30 years old. But then if I'm the dad, I'm like, all right, look, you grown man, 30 years old. Then you go get your own job now, make your own money, you tweet what you want. But you're making your money off of your old man still. And this is the conversation I would have as his old man. It's just snowballing to me, dog. I'm starting to see little trends. I'm seeing shit start to stack up. And there's no way. I don't understand. See, I guess we'll beat a dead horse. We'll get off this stuff. But I don't understand why people don't look at. I can't believe that the grown man in the room, Deion Sanders, the head coach of Colorado, would allow that. Would allow his son to be out there on social media talking like that to grown men. And it's like, at what point do you look at Deion Sanders, the dad and the coach, and be like, no, you let your son just say whatever? I get it. Fuck Danny Cannell. I don't care about all that. That ain't even the point.
Right.
The point is, like, I'm embarrassed as a dad that my son is out here talking that shit and like gone rogue. It looked like my cats have gone rogue. My kids gone rogue. My locker room's gone rogue. My coaches are leaving. At some point, when are you going to pull the shit in and stop just talking and start being? And that's the point I have, dog. That's all.
No, that's a great point. You know, like you said, it's not. I didn't have a problem when I actually saw the individual tweet, but the bigger picture of just when you look at everything that's happening, you know, like you just alluded to, it does seem like just some chaos. You know what I'm saying? There's not discipline as a unit. Like we look bad as a unit right now. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's little things, big things, even things that are out of your control, like the players getting their jury stolen at the UCLA game. That has nothing, like that's not necessarily their fault per se. But you could argue like, damn, it's just something else. It's like it's almost like the kid at school or whatever that he got suspended or he got locked up or he got shot or like something crazy happened, and you talk to your boy, you like, I ain't surprised though. Unfortunately, I ain't surprised because it just keeps stacking up. So I hear what you're saying. It's like, damn, it's decommit, coaches leave. You're hearing negative stuff in the locker room. Son talking crazy. It's just like, damn, like when is it just gonna be quiet? And
here's the thing, too, Smitty, like D. Jones. Parents can only control a kid action to a certain point.
Yeah, that's true too.
Until you can't.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So that is a fact, D. Jones. Guess what my fact is? Can't control you no more. Got to go. Mm-hmm. Got to go. No more money from me. What do you mean, homie? It's real fucking simple. I cut the head off the dragon off. Guess what the head of the dragon is to Deion Sanders Jr.? Money. The ability to film his daddy and his brothers all day, every day at the University of Colorado. I can end that real quick. Y'all don't want to take control? Then guess what? You don't want to listen to old man and your daddy? Guess what? Bye. You know how many motherfuckers Deion could get to film himself? Are you kidding me? Take that shit away from him. I bet you that motherfucker irons out real fucking quick. Yeah. But see, y'all want to make excuses.
I could film him.
Fucking tell the truth.
I go film him. But listen, my only issue, like I said, I don't have an issue with the actual literal tweet itself because listen, we all gonna defend our father. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real, motherfucker. And me and my dad, you know, our relationship be back and forth, but I still my pops and I love him. Somebody talking crazy about my pop, I can talk crazy about him. I can say something about him. You can't. So I would defend I know JB. I just from our conversation, I know how you feel about your father. I know you defend your father. It
would be personal. There was never this. It was all in person though.
Right.
This is a whole nother ballgame.
But again, JB, that's just because of the area that you grew up in. I feel very confident that an 18, 19-year-old, 20, 22-year-old, whatever, JB, who grew up in Twitter, who like this was just your normal, this was you're used to, and you saw, and your dad's a coach, whatever your dad is, and you see some constant criticism to your father from the same person. Let's call this guy Panny Fennell, and you keep seeing it. I know you, JB. I know you. You are going to say something back. And yeah, what you did was in person because that's what you grew up in. But if you grew up in social media, I feel pretty damn. I put my life on the line. You would say something back on social media at some point.
Yeah, but I don't think my dad would have allowed it. If my dad was somebody that we looked up to and people looked up to, there's no way he was going to do it. He would have did it. I didn't have to go on social media and say shit. He would have did it.
It's not about if your dad would do it. Of course, like Deion could take care of himself. It's not about that. It's just that we love the shit out of our parents. And like you as a kid, ain't nobody saying shit about my mom. I don't care. It is what it is. Like she can defend herself. She's a grown woman. She can, but it has nothing to do with that. That's my parent. And maybe that's just a kid feeling. I don't know. But it's not about what they can do. It's about how I'm receiving it as a son of Deion or the son of whoever. That's why, I'm like, I understand it. But to your bigger point, if you are Deion's son and you know how big of a star he is, you know the limelight is on him. Anybody connected to Deion, anything you do or say goes back to him. You know what I'm saying? Anything you do. So I do understand.
To your point, though, here's the thing. If everyone had that mentality, what you're saying, and everyone went out there and went rogue for defending their parents, which we all want them to defend our parents, but if we did not teach actual mutual respect or common courtesy, rules and regulations in the household, this is what we have right now. This is the badass, disrespectful kids you see running around this motherfucker right now. And that's the issue. There's no way I would have got on there and called a grown man a hoe, dog. My dad would have beat my ass, even though my dad probably would have went to Danny Cannell's house and beat his ass too. He was going to beat my ass for calling him a hoe, though. Right. For calling the hoe a hoe, he would have beat my ass. That is real life shit. Back in the day, that is what it was. So now, though, we got kids all the time. You see these videos, dog, of kids over speaking the daddy and talking to another grown man like he's grown. But yet, if you go over there and beat that ass, then the daddy pull out a pistol and daddy got a problem. Like, it's like, what are we doing? I don't know. I just think it's relating to life right now. Mark Cuban next up. Mark Cuban sells the Mavericks for $3.5 billion, but still has basically stock in the business and still is going to run the day-to-day.
Man. So he basically, in a nutshell, just cut himself a big-ass check, but nothing else is going to change.
That's kind of what, like Russell Simmons did it at Fat Farm, Def Jam, when he got his girl that Fat Farm deal and then Baby Fat or whatever it was, and then still, he sold it, and then he still managed. I think he still had control of it, 50%. It was still 50-50 or 41-59. I forgot what it was, but he stole it for billions. Mark Cuban's doing the same thing. He's a businessman. I don't know. I think he keeps shares in the team. He has full control of basketball operations. So basically, he's a COO now. I don't know. I think he sees the writing on the wall. That he's probably figuring, you know what? I've lived my life. I've done my thing. I'm getting into, 50s, late 50s. I was always the young guy that was out there talking shit and all that. I think he knows that this team's never going to win. I think he knows Kyrie's probably ruined his fucking ownership career. So he's like, fuck this. I'm out.
So so he's saying Mark Cuban, this billionaire, was at home and he was looking at his team, looking at his roster, going through the list. Luka, Kyrie, someone's Hardaway, John, and he's like, man, I messed up. I got Kyrie Irving on this team. We're never going to win.
And he's a flat earther. He's a flat earther. This guy bringing noise to the team. He's over there, he's sipping his whiskey. I'm going to sell this motherfucker. Hey.
Stop playing, JB.
Hey, I'm just fucking with
Kyrie's fault.
I'm fucking with the Kyrie thing, but I something else going on because I think he left Shark Tank, which I used to like that show.
Yeah.
He's leaving Shark Tank. He's selling the team. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe he's got some underlying health issue. I don't know. Who knows?
He might be going off the grid.
I don't give a fuck. Like, he's worth billions. Oh, well.
He bought the team for $285 million, I think, in 2000. He just sold it for $3.5 billion, but still got ownership. Talk about a bag. He ain't got to do anything else for the rest of his life at all. His kids ain't got to do it for their life, and their kids ain't doing it for their life, and so on and so forth. That's like, think about how rich, like, JB, can you imagine having $1 billion like in your account? Like, I don't even know how I would even.
I can't imagine it. I can imagine. I dream.
I don't even know what my life would be like. I don't even know what I would do, how I would think. Because you could do anything at any day you want to, any moment, every single day.
Yeah.
like imagine waking up, alarm go off, and you just do whatever you want to do.
Maybe he knows something. I hear he's trying to get into politics. I hear all this shit. China's masking up again, saying there's a whole new virus out there.
For real?
Oh, yeah. China's fully masked up, dog. They're saying they got a whole new thing going on in China right now.
Keep that shit over there.
This is my point. Shut off your phones. Get off TikTok. Get off Twitter. And just live your life. And then I bet you that China shit won't even come over here. Stay on your phones. Motherfucker coming over here.
That's why I don't watch the news, JB, for the exact same reason you just said. I don't watch the news because all it is scare tactics and propaganda.
I mean, it's on Twitter, though. It's election time, too. It's election time, dog. Yeah, like, how is everybody in China at the hospital right now? Like, they got more people than anybody. How many motherfucking billion of people? How many hospitals you got? Yeah. College football playoff, Big Smitty. Florida State is back in the business. They are back in it. I'm shocked at that, but I'm not shocked because I think they've done this strategically. I think that if they would have put Oregon at 4, so you got Washington and Oregon 3 and 4, and then they play this week, then I think you have the more of the – and Alabama were to beat Georgia, I think you kind of have this thing that, both Pac-12 teams are out. If you do it this way, though, whatever team wins, is in my opinion. Oregon or Washington, whoever wins is in.
Yeah,
I think that's how the thing is going about it. What I find interesting is, though, that Bama and Texas is still so low. Ohio State losing more recently than Texas and both Alabama. I would figure they would be behind those two.
No, but think about those 3 teams: Ohio State, Texas, Alabama. They're all one-loss teams. Ohio State loses to the number 2 team in the country. Texas loses to who? Was it Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma when they were undefeated.
Oklahoma undefeated, but still, like looking at Oklahoma now, I was like, all right. And then Bama lost to Texas, so it kind of makes sense.
Game 1.
The order. It don't matter when you lost. You all got 1 L, bruh. I'm sorry, you lost against Texas. You can't be in front of a team that beat me. So, like, I actually like that because now it sets it up where Florida State loses, Ohio State, I think, gets in there. And I kind of want that. I think
they put Florida State at 4 to ease everyone's minds for about a week. I think if Florida State wins, I still think they're out. I don't think you can put – like, if Bama beats Georgia, I'm just going to be real.
That's not happening, JB.
I think it can happen.
If Bama beats Georgia, yes, that changes everything. If that happens, then Florida State is out.
It doesn't change everything to me. There's no way, because there's a scenario out there where Bama beats Georgia and still don't get in. There's no way on this God's green earth that you're keeping the SEC champion out of the playoff. I'm sorry. There's not going to do it. There's too much money involved. There's no way the SEC champion is left out of the playoff. I would argue that Georgia losing to Bama in a close game still should be in, because I still believe Georgia, whether they win or lose, is still a top 4 team in the country.
If Bama wins and Texas wins, I think Bama and Texas get in. I think Michigan goes to number 1, Washington goes to number 2, Bama number 3, Texas number 4. Bama has to win in order for Florida State to get out, is what I'm saying. If Georgia beats Bama, which I think they will, if Michigan wins, if Washington wins, and then if Florida State wins, I just don't see Ohio State don't have a game. So there's nothing Ohio State can do this week to even boost themselves. They're just sitting there hoping for motherfuckers to lose. That's the only thing they can really depend on. So they're kind of stuck where they're at. But everyone else has opportunity to change.
Next year, Michigan and Ohio State would be playing again this week.
I know.
Because they're changing it. So next year, they would be playing each other. Ohio State and Michigan would play again this week. I heard Kirk Herbstreit, who's going to come on the show, say that he thinks that's bad. It would take the lore away. I think that's what needs to happen. Because if Ohio State turns around and wins, they're in. Like,
I think Michigan and Ohio State should play earlier in the season. And then obviously they could play again in the championship game. Both of them are the best two teams.
I think they should play when they do, because I think it's at the end of the season where the big boys play. But at the same time, them playing Iowa with no offense, like, yeah,
that's stupid. I wouldn't like the back-to-back though. I wouldn't like we just played game 12 and we're gonna play again in the championship game next week. So I think
that's why I give credit to Pac-12. They actually did it right, because Oregon and Washington are both from the north, are playing each other. So it's not like Washington's playing Arizona.
Right.
Even though I think Arizona can beat anybody in the country right now, by the way.
Right.
I think Arizona can literally beat any team in America right now.
They're hot right now. They're rolling.
They're fucking hot. They're very hot.
But I think the way Washington
it'd be great for them, but they wouldn't get in the playoff either way. If Arizona beat Washington, they still wouldn't get in the playoff because they got 3 losses.
Yes, right.
So like, I like how the Pac-12's done it. The 2 best teams play. We don't got to play an 8-4 SC or whoever won the South. You know what I'm saying? I like how this is. So I wish Michigan and Ohio State and the Big Ten did that, but next year they will. So
it's gonna be a little better next year too, because you remember, was it SC, UCLA? They're going to Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, it might fuck around be Ohio State and SC in the Big Ten championship. I mean, I don't know who's going to which side, like the West or the East or whatever, but I'm assuming they're not gonna put them all on the same side, of course. So it's gonna be some. It's gonna change. I'm excited for next year. I know if you're from the West Coast, you don't really like the fact that you're going to the Big Ten and the traveling, and I get all that. But from an actual matchup standpoint, I'm like, man, like this makes things a little more interesting in the Big Ten. Hopefully, Michigan State kind of gets back to where they were formerly at and become back to a respected team. Penn State's always gonna be right in the mix. You know, as much as Iowa isn't on that level, I've played against Iowa in college. Iowa. There's been some years where they made the Big Ten championship and played against the Michigan State and won and competed. So, like, Iowa's still a decent team, whatever. But you bring in SC, you bring in UCLA, that Big Ten is going to be real strong next year, man. So I'm excited to see that.
Hey, let's stick with this one, Bailey. We're going to do, speaking of college football, next year it goes to the 12-team playoff. So we're going to talk about this later in the show, but I'm like, let's do it now since we're going to talk about it. The 12-team playoff is what is wrong with the college football landscape, in my opinion. It's watered down beyond belief already. And yesterday I did a video on why the transfer portal has ruined college football. This is absolutely just adding on to the already watered down product that we have on the field today. More is less sometimes, Big Smitty. And I'm just telling you, quality over quantity should be what we're about, and we're not. Everyone gets a trophy in high school now. California had 2 and 8 teams winning fucking CIF championship. I mean, it's a joke. So this is what it would be, Smitty, if we had a 12-team playoff today. So it would be Georgia would be the 1. Alabama would be an 8. Missouri a 9. Florida State would be a 4, I guess. Oregon a 5, Oklahoma 12, Michigan would be the 2, Texas would be the 7, Penn State's in it at number 10, Washington would be a 3 seed, Ohio State would be a 6, and Ole Miss would be an 11.
Hey, JB, I ain't gonna lie. This shit got my heart beating fast. I love it.
Because you just like more. I think more is. I think it's horrible.
No, JB. This is the perfect season. This would be the perfect year to implement it this season. All this talk we're talking about, who gets in? I mean, did Bama really get in? I think Bama's the better team, but Florida State, they undefeated, lost their quarterback. We're doing all these debates. This is the debate. We don't need to guess and see who. Let's see it. Go out there and play. Maybe Missouri is better than Alabama this year.
We've already seen it, Big Smitty. We've seen it. Let's look at what we've seen already. You've seen Texas beat Bama in a close game. Okay, cool. What we have seen is Georgia and Alabama absolutely mud stomp Ole Miss, who's in there. And we've seen Michigan and Ohio State absolutely mud stomp Penn State. And now we have an Oklahoma team who got beat by KU and Oklahoma State, who lost to a mid-major. And now we're looking at Florida State without a QB and Missouri. Okay, Missouri's had a good year.
I'm about to say now.
Damn playoff team. How about we just give everybody, all one of these teams, every one of these motherfuckers a trophy then and say, here, you guys are all good.
But there's no, why you keep saying that? Just because you're in the playoffs, you don't get a fucking trophy. It just gives you the opportunity to possibly compete for one.
It's a trophy that's not in the playoffs.
If everything you said is true, if these teams are shitty and we've already seen it, then everything that's supposed to happen will happen, meaning that Bama will beat Missouri then, Oregon should beat Oklahoma then, Texas should beat Penn State, Ohio State should beat Ole Miss, and it'll be in the exact same anyway. So what's the big deal for extra game?
So why play?
Because I don't think that would really happen. And that's
so
the excitement of college football.
The top 4 teams apparently is what they're going to get a bye.
They get a bye, yeah.
Top 4 teams get a bye. And dog, this is horrific in my opinion. It's just because you see a new team play. Oh, Ohio State, Ole Miss. It's just eye candy because you want to see these teams. I got a fucking solution. How about you play Alabama plays How about Oregon and Oklahoma play during the regular season? How about Texas, Penn State play during the regular season? How about Ohio State, Ole Miss play during the regular season? To me, those sound like great week 1 matchups. Those would be unbelievable to kickstart college football. How you imagine Texas, Penn State start the season off? Ohio State, Ole Miss, great ass start of the season. Oregon, Oklahoma, oh my goodness, that would be huge. In Norman, in Oregon, wherever. Alabama, Missouri, since they're not going to play each other, but they wouldn't do that because they'd play in the possible championship game, so they wouldn't play. But those other teams, unbelievable to me. You know what else sounds great? Michigan, Washington start the year. Florida State, Georgia, which they are. Florida State played LSU at least this year, but which they beat up, and we now know LSU's got, one of the worst defenses in college football. That, to me, is what needs to happen. And then you would have a true 4 playoff team. Because now we look at it and say, okay, Ohio State beat Ole Miss. Then Ole Miss turned around and lost to both Georgia and Alabama in the league this year, right? So Ole Miss would have 3 losses, and they lost to an outside Ohio State. They're not a playoff team, dog. Let's just be real. Penn State, you lost to Michigan and Ohio State. And let's say Texas drug stomped you. Okay, that Texas, Penn State, you're out. Oregon, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, turns out they end up losing to an Oklahoma State and KU team, but beat Texas. But Oregon, let's say Oregon drag them week 1. Oklahoma, you're out. Now, Oregon has to play Washington in a meaningful game in their own conference and then play again for the Pac-12 title. Goddamn, I'm making too much sense, dog. It's just coming to me, too. Like, motherfucker, just shit. Like, it's like I took that pill on that movie.
Limitless.
And, everybody listening to me knows that is real talk. That would be so much better than just throwing 12 teams on a wall and saying, all right, let's go play these shitty-ass games for nothing. And when in theory, Oregon, Oklahoma, Big Smitty would be a fucking hell of a Rose Bowl. Texas, Penn State would be a hell of an Orange Bowl. Ohio State, Ole Miss would be a hell of a Cotton Bowl. But guess what? We got rid of all those meaningful bowl games that meant something back in the day. The New Year's Bowl game. We got rid of all that shit now because now we want to make a 12-team playoff that is going to be so fucking watered down and garbage. So if Penn State gets hammered by Texas in this first round next year, let's just say that's what we see. What do you get out of that?
Nothing. But what if Penn State beats Texas and upsets them? What do you get out of that?
You already would have had it week 1 of the season, though. Like Texas beat Alabama this year.
I'm not arguing what you just threw out. Yeah, I would love to see more competitive regular seasons. I would love to see. I don't want to see Bama play Chattanooga, University or whatever, Chattanooga State, whatever they're called. But at the same time, being from a small school, I do understand the importance of us being able to have the opportunity to play against those big schools for multiple reasons, for money and for exposure. But that's a separate conversation. I don't want to dive into that.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that apparently some people think that this 12-team playoff is going to end all the controversy?
It is.
No, it's not, homie. Because you all who want 12-team playoff right now will be bitching about the 13th team that don't get in next year. Mark my motherfucking word. You will be bitching about the 13th team that don't make the top 12. Because all you fanboys out there will be fucking K-State fans, and you'll have a fucking 10-2 record and thinking you're deserving more than Penn State, who lost 2 games. Stop playing. As long as you keep adding more and more, you're going to keep expecting more and more. When I know it's 4, there's no controversy, dog, because you do it during the season when it used to matter. I'm telling you, Big Smitty, you're going to have a fucking team next year. Tulane, who right now is ranked 22nd, can't move. They haven't moved all year. And by the way, they're 12-1. They haven't moved. The last time I checked, they beat SC last year in a major bowl game, but they haven't moved up to 22. You don't think the Tulane fans will be pissed off that they're not the 12th team in? Like, come on, man. Like, we're always going to want more.
Of course, JB. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you. Yeah, of course. If it was 24 teams, we won't. But I'm saying to me, 12 is like a great fucking cutoff. It's like, all right, we're not gonna have fucking 30 teams in the playoffs. Like that don't make sense. Everybody has some sort of cutoff. Whether it's the NFL has 7 teams making from each division. If it's NBA, everybody has a cutoff at some point because that just would make sense. If we're arguing about who should be the fucking 12th, the 13th seed, the 4th, like, come on, bro, they're not that good there at that point. But I'm saying, you look at years like this year when there's a lot of good teams, like we could make the argument like the top 8 seeds. I don't know this year. I really don't know. Like you said, you believe Bama might be Georgia. And Bama's what, number 8 right now, I think?
And this what it should be, Big Smitty. It's a conference title game. This is how it should be.
I hear you, but
both teams get in the playoff.
Listen,
I'm saying, I believe both teams should be in the playoff if Bama wins. That's my personal opinion.
Right.
But next year, both teams are in regardless of the playoff. Regardless. So do you realize that both of these teams are getting in the playoffs next year? Has anyone brought up the fact that the conference title games will mean absolutely diddly shit? What would Bama and Georgia be playing for this weekend?
It won't mean anything for the SEC. You know what I'm saying?
They're already guaranteed the 12 playoff. Let's be real.
It won't mean anything for the SEC.
Nah, this is a playoff thing now. It has nothing to do. SEC conference titles mean nothing no more. Big 10 mean nothing. Big Pac-12's gone. So SEC, ACC, nothing. Why? I would not be shocked. Watch it. Mark my words and clip this shit right now. When we have dudes sitting out of a conference title game that's undefeated because we know we're in the playoff already. I wouldn't be surprised if we have the bitch-made society we live in now, where we'll sit there and say, oh, we want to lose. This is similar to, what do they call it, folding in the NFL or whatever?
Like trying to like reseed almost, so because you don't want that certain matchup.
We don't want to play them number one. We'll lose to Bama in the SEC title game, and we're going to be the 4th seed anyway. So we'll be the 4th seed, and we'll get to play a fucking shittier team. I'm telling you right now, you're opening up Pandora's box with this shit right here. Instead, I'm telling you, more is less, man. And I'm just telling you, my word don't mean shit. But I'm just telling you, I can't wait for motherfuckers to start sitting out 12-team playoffs. Oh, I'm going to the NFL. 12-team playoff is going to be watered down in 2 years again, just like the Rose Bowl is now. We've created this. Dog, let me just. My point is this.
JB, the way they got set up.
When does it end, homie? Because in 3 years, it's going to be a 24 playoff team.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. What?
It's been 4 for years. It's been 4 for years.
Exactly what it should be. Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
Before that, Big Smitty, before that, it was no.
I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate between the anywhere between 8 to 12. I'm an advocate. Yeah, there's gonna be fans of particular schools saying, so and so should have got in this year. That's always gonna happen. Like, there's no way to avoid that. But what I'm saying is, the 4 teams just didn't give the full essence of the actual 4 best teams. Last year, TCU was not a top 4 team, in my opinion. I'm gonna be real with you. And I think we had a 12-team playoff last year. It would have fizzled out the way it's supposed to. And I don't know if TCU would end up being where they're supposed to be at. So I think when you do 12 teams, it truly, like, all right, ain't no argument. These are literally the best teams in the nation. There's no argument about this. Let's see how shit plays out. Where this year, like, let's be real. We're arguing like, damn, is Florida State, are they really in that thing? I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I don't think Florida State's better than Ohio State right now. I don't think Florida State's better than Alabama right now. I don't know if Florida State's better than Texas right now. I really don't know that. I'm gonna be real. Without their quarterback, I don't know. They looked very average against Florida this last week. So if we have a 12-team playoff this year, I don't have to think. We're gonna see on tape what's gonna happen. But now this year, JB, we ain't gonna see that. They go out there and beat a Louisville team that's good, but Louisville ain't no powerhouse top 5 team in the country. So they go out here and beat a Louisville, they're probably gonna get in. As long as Georgia beats Bama and Florida State beat Louisville, Florida State's gonna get in. And it's like, damn, bro, like, are they really better than Ohio State?
They're gonna get shellacked. They're gonna get fucking shellacked, and it's gonna be horrific playoff because we put the wrong teams in again. And everyone's gonna say, see, if we would have had 12 teams. No, if Florida State would have fucking played somebody in the regular season, they wouldn't even be here anyway. And you would have the real teams. I can't wait for 6 to 8 years from now when motherfuckers are we want 2014 playoff. We need to have an in-season tournament. Like, we always want
someone
more.
says a 2014 playoffs, they're just ignorant. They don't even
I'm
make
telling
like
you right now. It's gonna go. If this money blows up this 12-team thing, you don't think they're gonna NCAA is gonna turn down money? What?
I'm not saying that,
Get
but
out of here.
this
They'll
is
do a
football too,
64
JB.
team playoff. Before we die, there might be a 64 motherfucking team playoff. It might be like NBA or college basketball.
But again, this ain't basketball. This is football.
No shit. That's what I'm saying.
We play in the health era. We play in the
Smitty,
make football safe
everyone
era.
deserves to win era. Everyone
we play
gets
in
a
the make
trophy
football
era.
safe era, JB. They're not gonna go out there and play too many more games.
They're
That was
already
a
playing
liability
19,
to kids.
fucking 14 games in college. What do you mean?
And I'm saying
BYU plays 13 games, dog. What do you mean?
I'm saying they ain't gonna have you playing 18 fucking games now because of it. Like, come on now, JB. That don't even make sense.
The shit.
18 game college football season.
They're about to right now.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I love it.
What's the difference?
I love competition. I love my voice. I love competition. So if we're able to watch one more game and we're able to see the true top teams in the fucking nation compete, I'm cool with that. The top 4 seeds, they get a bye basically, so they're already protected. The next 8 they compete to match up against them. I don't see what, like, as a fan of the game now, because we're both fans now, right now. Like, we're not coaching or playing right now. So as a fan of the game, why not watch another great? Like, these are great matchups, though. Even with your idea of them playing each other in the regular season, you saying these are great matchups, or these would be a great Cotton Bowl or great Rose Bowl. Okay, they're still matching up, whether we call it the Rose Bowl, the Smitty Bowl, the JB Bowl, or no bowl at all. They're still playing against each other in a very important big time game. Why are we not excited to see that?
Why? Well, who's your top 4 right now?
Right here listed: Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State.
That's your Final 4? That's your top 4?
Oh, my Final 4? Oh,
your top 4 right now. Who's your top 4 right now?
My Final 4 right now, the top 3 are solidified. I would move Florida State out. And like right now today, I will put Oregon there. But the problem is Oregon and Washington play against each other. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can't. To me, those are the top 4 teams right now in the country. I would have Texas at 5, Bama at 6, Ohio State at 7.
Why Bama at 6, Ohio State at 7?
Here's the thing. Huh?
Why you got Bama in front of Ohio State?
Because they've won 10 in a row. I mean, we used to go off of recency bias. This is how they picked the 4 playoff teams forever.
They played the number 2 team in the country, though, JB. Like, they gotta matter.
So what? How Bama has to play Georgia this week? What do you mean?
Okay, so we'll know, but I'm saying to this point, you said right.
Hold on. Time out. We're not going to give Florida State a fucking pass with no quarterback and not Ohio State. Ohio State's quarterback's garbage, bro. I'm just telling y'all right now. If Ohio State had a quarterback, they'd be fucking much better. Ohio State don't have a quarterback. I don't want to see Ohio State in the playoff. They do not have a quarterback, and Ryan Day has yet to win a meaningful football game. So until I see Ryan Day proving to me that he can win a big game, I don't want to see that same more movie again. And I know Florida State can't win it without a quarterback. So those 2 teams to me are gone. Milroe at Bama gives me an opportunity to win with his feet in college football. Let's just keep it real. He just threw a touchdown to beat a rival in rivalry week.
Hell of a throw. Hell of an NFL throw.
Hell of an NFL throw.
But let's be real. Let's keep it brass tacks, JB. All year long, we've been talking about this fucking Jalen Milroe, talking on T-Rich Thursdays. How good is he? How he ain't been that good this year. So don't
he hasn't, but guess
keep
what?
that same energy.
It gives you an opportunity.
And I've seen the kid at Ohio State. I'm losing his name right now. Help me in the chat. McCord. I've seen him multiple games this year too. Has some big time 3 touchdown games, 4 to McCord has played well a couple games too.
He's a stiff. In my opinion, he's a bit stiff. Milroe got better throughout the year, by the way. Stiff, McCord hasn't. McCord's gotten worse against lesser competition, in my opinion. I don't think, other than the Michigan game, Penn State, we know that game. It was defense, no offense. Michigan, he didn't do anything. I don't want to see Florida State and Ohio State without a quarterback playing in a Final Four. You're telling me you possibly would see Ohio State without a quarterback who has any competitive drive, in my opinion. I saw him lay down and take it in the ass the other day. I do not want that dude.
So hold on, before you continue. You saw him not do a thing, and they were one score away from beating the number 2 team in the nation with no quarterback at all.
So do we want to see that in the playoff again? Another Ryan Day coulda, woulda, shoulda, been. Fuck that. He hasn't won anything. Why do I want to see another one score away opportunity?
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I'd rather see Texas,
because Quinn Ewers is back. I'm with you. Quinn Ewers is a bad boy.
Exactly. I'd rather see Bama with Milroe with his feet give an opportunity to win. I'd rather see Penix. I'd rather see even McCarthy, who I'm not huge on, but at least Michigan's done what they've done. So let's just be honest. And if Bama beats Georgia, I still think Georgia's better than Ohio State, Texas. And you could argue the winner of Oregon-Washington gets in. I mean, the other one's out. I mean,
again, now it's kind of contradicting, though. Your argument against Ohio State not being in is because of recency bias, which you told me. So if Georgia was to lose against Bama, they should be out then.
No, it's not. You didn't listen. I said it's about quarterback play. Georgia's quarterback played great all year. Ohio State don't have a quarterback to be deserving of a playoff, dog. Georgia does. Period. It's not just recency bias. It's about Florida State and Ohio State not having a quarterback. I don't want to see that movie in the playoffs.
But like you said, J.J. McCarthy, he's decent. I guess he's going to get drafted.
Yeah, Michigan's going to get in. They deserved it. No coach and all the drama. There's no ifs and buts about it. He deserves to be in.
I'm not arguing. I think they should. I'm just saying, if we focus just on quarterback, I hear you. We can go back and forth on that all day. I just think Ohio State is fucking loaded outside the quarterback position, and I wouldn't mind seeing the best receiver in the nation, like I've been saying all year, in the playoff and see what they could do. It's not like Michigan went out there and beat the fuck out of them, and it wasn't even close. And that was one of the best games of the year. It went down to the wire. It was going back and forth all game long, toe to toe, and it's a number 2 team in the nation. So that's all I'm saying. If you go toe to toe with the number 2 team in the nation, shit, you ain't the top 4 team. That's my own. That's all I'm saying. But in reality, though, I'm not gonna lie. I really do think Oregon is the top 4 team right now. But the problem is, they got to play Washington in the Pac-12, and the loser's not going to make it. But if you really act like you put a lie detector test on me right now, I would say right now, Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and the way Oregon is playing and the way Bo Nix has been looking, Bo Nix might be the Heisman. The way Bo Nix is looking,
another quarterback team.
I know.
I don't want to see fucking teams with no quarterback, homie. Why are you arguing this? You want to see Ohio State with a stiff out there get into the playoffs.
I'm saying if
you want to see a third-string quarterback possibly lead a Florida State team who's gone through the worst conference in college football, the ACC, you want to see him in the playoffs.
JB, this is what I'm saying. I'm not over here just boosting for Ohio State. What I'm saying is, if Georgia beats Bama, you think that this whole argument is because you really think Bama's going to beat Georgia. I don't. I do not. I think Georgia's going to fucking beat them by 10 plus points. After I saw the performance from Bama, Bama's been coaching his ass off, and Bama's been winning, but it ain't been looking pretty.
You can't use that. You can't use that theory because New Mexico State beat Auburn the week before.
I think Georgia is going to take care of Bama. Okay, so assume let's just use assume I'm right. Let's assume Georgia beats Bama, Michigan's going to win, and then let's say the Washington-Oregon game. I don't even care. Washington wins, Oregon. Whatever. A Pac-12 team will be in that third spot. My only argument is that Florida State is not top 4 without their quarterback, regardless. Somebody got to take that 4th spot. I don't care if it's Ohio State. I don't care if it's Bama. I don't care if it's Texas. Hell, I don't care if Oregon loses by 2 points and somehow they put them in the 4th spot. Florida State is just not a top 4 team. To me, putting Florida State in is kind of going to be like how TCU got in last year.
This is my point, James Simmons. Isn't this my point, the whole fucking argument? There is no point. I told you just this last year. When it goes to 12 playoffs next year, both Bama and Georgia in this current scenario are getting in. That playoff, that SEC title game means absolutely nothing. And you'll see guys sit out. Telling you, you guys have set this up for failure. Trust me. Not you, but everybody out there that set this thing up has set it up for failure. They never thought about this particular scenario. That kids already are sitting out bowl games to go get ready for NFL. Why would they not start sitting out extra season 12 playoff? Now I've got to go play 4 playoff games, possibly? Come on, man.
But one more thing. Let me ask you this, though. Wouldn't you want to see Georgia and Bama in the playoffs, though? Like,
if they're the best.
Here's
the scenario, though. Goes back to my strength of schedule deal. So if I'm going to play that first scenario that we said, Bama played Texas, let's say. Georgia, let's say they start off with Oregon. And then they play, and then let's say Michigan plays Washington. And then all these things. You would know. And guess what? Georgia's only loss was to Bama at the end after they beat an Oregon during the year and after they beat whatever. Those two, to me, deserve to be in the Final Four.
But even using that as an example, let's use this year. Texas and Bama actually did play each other. But what do I keep hearing from you? It was the first game of the season. Bama's better than Texas. So damn, even when they do play against each other, that's still
I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying right now that would be huge weigh-in right now for next year. So Texas played. You guys did play. To my point, all right, Texas, you won. Now Bama has to beat Georgia. If not, they're out. That's the thing. That's the best 4 teams. But if Bama wins, Smitty, then my argument is Georgia's still in top 14. They haven't lost in 3 years. But Bama lost game 1 to Texas. So my whole thing is let's play the best early. And now the conference title game means something. Next year, it won't mean shit. Bama and Georgia are both getting in right now. In this scenario, Georgia and Bama are both getting in regardless of who wins the SEC title game.
But you know why it'll still make sense, though? Because based upon the bracket and what I'm understanding is that the top 4 seeds basically get like a bye in a sense. They don't have to play 2 games. They wait for the winner. So hold on. So no. That matters a lot. If I'm gonna be a fucking 4 seed or I'm gonna be a 3 seed versus a 5th seed, that changes everything. Because I'm playing an additional game, and this is football. This ain't fucking basketball. This ain't fucking tennis. This is football. Injuries matter. Anything happening in that additional game. So as a player, as a coach, I'm like, nah, we need to go win this shit because we do not need to go play an additional game. So that's why I think what you're saying actually won't matter and it won't affect it because players gonna have to play. You can't go out there if you got a chance to be a top 4 seed and get a bye in football. That's very important. You know that.
I don't know that because all you're telling me is this is real simple. When we boost gas prices up to $8. And then we drop them to 5. And then Biden gets up on the stage and says, prices are coming down. No, they're not. You okey-doked us. You gave us the good old okey-doke. You lied. You've come down $3, but you were up to 8, and we used to be at $3. So you actually were still up $2. This is the same shit, Smitty. Guess what happens when the Final Four play? You still have a bye. Guess when that is? Between the SEC title game and the fucking playoff. Or guess what? You used to have a couple weeks off before you played the Rose Bowl. Or that's your bye. That's your bye. Why are we thinking this is so? Why is it so hard to understand?
I'm not talking about getting a break. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying you're literally playing. And if you're a 5 through 12 seed, in order for you to win the whole thing, you have to play an additional game. I'm saying that as a coach, as a head coach, you don't want that. You don't want additional game, JB. You fuck around your quarterback and fucks his leg up and twists his ankle. Your D tackle tears his Achilles. Players are getting hurt and banged up. You don't want that. So if I got the chance to be like, hey, bro, we win 1, we in the natty. That's what you want. It's like the NFL. Teams want to try to be the top seed, so they ain't got to play in the wild card week. It makes your journey easier. One football game is like the equivalent of like 10 basketball games.
You know who agrees with you?
Who?
Losers. Mark Rideout is agreeing with you because his
great man. That's a great man.
His sorry ass Florida Gators are so fucking bad. he's hoping that because they play in the SEC that maybe they'll be the 12th seed with 4 losses. This is what I'm talking about.
What about Kevin Hall? This is a good black man. He agree with me. What about him?
Kevin Hall, he whitewashed. So here's the thing. Like, this is the issue we got. You know, brother wears a suit. He whitewashed.
He got his hair greased up.
Yeah, he whitewashed. Kevin Hall whitewashed. Kevin Hall, shout out to Kevin Hall. He became a member today. Shout out to you. And I'm just fucking with you.
You know why he a member? Because he a brother.
No disrespect,
That's why I'm on the show, so I can bring the black people, on the show.
Kevin Hall he was coming here already.
You want to remember for me, though. Let my boy Sheldon, you know what I mean? Come on now.
Just Sheldon. Look like fake ass RG3. All right, so look, here's the thing. Let's get into Bobby Petrino. That segment went way too long. Pound the like button. Bobby Petrino. All right, so this is a guy who's a really, really good offensive coach. All right, really good quarterback guy. Gets after the quarterback like no other. Cuss the motherfuckers out. They brought him back at Arkansas. Now, I don't know if you know the story. Big Smitty, if anybody knows the story. That was him at Arkansas. Do you know why that was him at Arkansas? So he got caught cheating on his wife with a broad on the back of a motorcycle. The motherfucker crashed with her on there. Fucking wife filed divorce, sued him. I mean, he's back coaching, Smitty. He back coaching though. That ain't no big deal, dog. I don't know if it's. I don't get this privilege.
I mean, because you like that too.
I don't get the privilege though.
Well, listen, you don't get the privilege in a coaching space because you are so connected to us.
Hey, and by the way, hey Ron, wait, no, hold on. Chris Doggett. 2 things can be true. Chris Doggett is onto something here. Of course, I have a really good friend on that staff at the time. The truth of the matter is, that's not true either, Chris Doggett. You're wrong on that, okay? You're right about him getting his ass beat. You're wrong about who did it. And I'm going to tell you who did it. I'll tell you right now. Fuck it.
It was JB.
He got fucked up in the weight room by his assistants because he was getting out of line, talking some shit, and he got into it with some assistants, and they touched him up a little bit, and they obviously they were fired, departed ways. He got fired. The whole thing blew up. He also did wreck a motorcycle. So he did both. What we know from the actual facial issue, the neck, all this shit you see, which is an embarrassment, we don't know if it came from the ass whooping or the wreck. But nobody brought out the ass whooping. But it happened in the weight room and by his own staff. I'm just telling you right now. That is what happened. He talked to Cat a certain way. He is what he is. I'm just telling you. That all happened. Now, having said that, so what, Big Smitty? Some years go by, and all right, well, shit, it's been 4 years for me. Ain't nobody calling me. Nobody calling him because I'm not getting the system. He in the boy circle.
Man.
Hey, I'm just telling you.
You know better than me, man.
I got players hitting me up to coach, but admin's scared. I got players telling me they don't want to fuck with this guy. Admins hire him. Make it make sense.
Yeah, man.
What's your take on him going back to where he was the head coach to be the OC?
It's wild. I mean, I really feel like they're setting him up to be the head coach again at some point. That's what they're doing, because we all know you got to be a coordinator first before you could be a head coach. And I think they would want him to be the head coach right now, but they know optically it wouldn't look right. Even obviously from a coordinator standpoint, don't look right, but at least you got a little bit of more wiggle room to play around with that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they can ever hire him back at Arkansas.
Man, I'm telling you, we think they can hire him back, period. And he's the OC. OC is one step away, basically, from the head coach. You go out there and Arkansas's offense the next 2 years starts to shoot up and start to, these guys are a top 15 offense in the country. They score 30-plus points every single game. These guys are winning games. Now they're going to be looking at why are they scoring points? Why are they? And then this guy could be right there in alignment. So my conspiracy is that they're trying to set him up to become the head coach again. It might be 3 years from now, 4 years from now. But to me, that's the longer-term plan. And yeah, you know it, man. Once you get into that family, that coaching kind of circle, they just keep recycling you, and you keep getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And then once they throw you out, it's hard to get back in. And that's what it is.
The difference between Sark is Sark was a head coach before twice, and then Nick Saban saved the day. See, Nick Saban saved more coaches than Social Security. Nick Saban has saved coaches and then allows them to get rehired. Petrino just was with Jimbo, and he did take over a Missouri State team and went undefeated after a year of struggling, and he went the JUCO route. But we're going to break that down. Oregon State, next up on the docket. Oregon State found their man, Big Smitty, by the name of Trent Bray. A good friend of mine's dad, or a good friend of mine, Craig Bray, is the father of Trent Bray. Trent Bray is about 40, I believe. I think it's a good, solid hire. I think he wants to be at Oregon State. His daddy was the former DC at Oregon State, Craig Bray. But I want to dive into a video of them introducing him to the Oregon State team.
Great
and
to
take
see
a look.
you guys. We want to tell you that we have been on a journey for a couple days. National search, interviewed 7 candidates. Our best guy of that bunch, without question, your new leader, Coach Trent Bray.
The big reason I'm here are you. I care about you guys, love this place. Believe in you, believe in what we can do. Right? As I'm going through this deal, right, the more I believe this administration, right, what's going.
So the point of it is, they could have cheered for him for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they loved him.
Deion Sanders in trouble, bro. I'm not saying Deion Sanders in trouble because of this guy. Y'all don't listen. You just hear what I say. Deion Sanders is in trouble because Oregon has a guy just like this guy that all the brothers want to play for, and Dan Lanning. Arizona State has a guy, even though they're struggling, that they want to play for. Arizona has a dude they want to play for. And winning him in Utah, they want to play for him. And there's a lot of other young and upcoming dudes that are nobodies that the players know are genuine. And I'm going to tell you, those kids right there, did you see their Colorado team fucking that hyped up when Deion took the job? No. I'm using Deion as an example. You don't see this for anybody. You don't see this very often. This a little scrawny little white kid walks in there who's been the linebacker safety coach or whatever he was there, walks in there, and they could not have been happier to have this dude as their head coach. Like, you saw when the motherfuckers started standing up and hugging them, and then they still wouldn't sit down. Then they stood down and they started clapping again. Dog, they got a guy they like. And those kids in that room, and then now he's got to go out and recruit. He's got to go do his thing. But if there's guys like this, then I don't mean nobody. That's a bad word to use. I know Cisco's trying to call me out here. I don't mean nobody, but what I mean is he's not the name of Deion Sanders. He's not the name of these guys. If a guy like that has the attention of a locker room in the Pac-12 team, a conference team like this, you don't think there's a lot more out there? You don't think that Sean Lewis is going to take over the San Diego State job, going to have that reception?
Nah, it won't be like that. It'll be good. It won't be that good because I'll expect from a player standpoint. You mentioned
Sean Lewis, dog.
You mentioned this cat was he was the linebackers coach for this team.
I think it might have been the DC.
So the reason why they're reacting with so much praise as well, when you have already a great relationship with the coach who's already there, who's already been there, D-line coach, D coordinator, whatever, and they're already a part of this unit, they already understand who you are, and they get that promotion. If it's one of your coaches who you rock with, it's like, yeah. It's almost like, okay, like, we about to really turn them now. Like, you got like that player's coach who's a position guy or whatever, and he leveled up. Like, my D-line coach was Chad Will. I think he's a DC at IU now, but he was my D-line coach at Ball State. If he would have got the head coaching job at Ball State when Pete Limbo left, we would have lost our mind through the chair. Oh my God. It's like, so like, I think it's different when you have a coach who's already there get promoted versus an outsider coach.
Yeah, I'm not comparing that. I get what you're saying, and I get everybody in the chat. I get everybody in the chat what they're saying. This kid's already been there. I get the relationship thing.
Yeah, like Marcus Freeman. That's a good example. Everybody got real hype for Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame the same way.
Yeah. I'm not saying this kid's going to go out and win a natty. What I'm telling you is that they're clearly bought in, and there are a lot of other guys that I said nobodies. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but nobodies. There's a shitload of these guys out there. And it's just going to make the primetime Deion Sanders brand even harder to win because, listen, Oregon State kids aren't leaving right now. They're staying. Colorado kids are leaving. And you just had a year with your footprint on this thing. There's no one's leaving Oregon. Maybe shitbirds, kids that got cut or didn't play. No one's leaving Arizona. You got to understand, these are the up-and-coming teams, not only in the league or in this new Big Ten or whatever, but in the nation. You're competing versus national kids at the Power 5 level. Colorado's still a Power 5 school last time I checked, even though going to Big 12. So you still got to go recruit at a national level, and you're losing kids because you're going with the mercenary approach. 80% portal, 10% JUCO, 10% high school. We're going to see. We're going to see. He's perfect for Oregon State. You know why? Because no offense, he's a nobody, but he's a nobody in the big picture of things. And I believe he's a perfect fit there at a school like that. They're consuming San Diego, San Jose, fucking UNLV. This is a conference you should win and have a shot at going to a playoff. I mean, now we're in 12-team playoff. Fuck, everybody gets a trophy. Why not? Next up, Jerry Jones has resurfaced. A lawsuit has resurfaced. Woman claiming to be Jerry Jones' daughter files a defamation lawsuit against Dallas Cowboy owner and allegedly that the billionaire devised a plan to portray her as an extortionist. So this is not going away, Smitty. He continued, but we don't talk about it at all. Have you noticed? I don't see him popping up on ESPN this morning. I don't see anybody talking about shit like this. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Jerry, I'm gonna say this real quick. Jerry got a lot of power, and I'm gonna keep it at that. But you know where I work at, and there's been times when I've been told to not post certain things about this person because of that. So that's all. I'm gonna keep it at that.
I already know. That's what I'm saying. There's a reason why they didn't lead off ESPN today with it or Get Up.
Yeah.
So this motherfucker got a bunch of people by the balls. He got a bunch of people by the balls. Hey, give me the nuts. Give me the nuts. We don't bring it up at all. He got daughters by every motherfucker. Man, he got
you
more
get
daughters.
a daughter. You get a daughter. You get a daughter. You get a daughter.
You a daughter. You my daughter. You my daughter. God. Hey man, Josh Dobbs may not be the guy in Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell won't commit to Josh Dobbs at quarterback after the bye. He said, we'll look at everything. A quote by him, also Kevin O'Connell, has said, whoever can get Justin Jefferson the ball will be the starter. Now, that's kind of a slap to me where a guy that's been real gung-ho on Josh Dobbs, and now saying that to a guy because he threw 4 picks or whatever, 2 of them were drop balls, by the way, to me, is kind of a shot for a guy that's been like Dobbs just keeps getting the short end of the stick. It seems like, homie. Like, kudos to Josh Dobbs and perseverance, man. I love the kid to death. I think the kid is fucking what a quarterback should be. Don't ever get a fucking house. Don't buy a house in any of these cities, Josh Dobbs, because goddamn, you're out of there. You better rent like Smitty. You better get a new apartment, but get a TV with logo on it next. But other than that, Josh Dobbs may not be the guy in Minnesota. Like, who is the guy there then?
I literally don't know. I have no idea who the next quarterback is. Like,
Exactly.
who is the backup quarterback?
Who knows?
I don't know. I guess I think whoever the cat was that got hurt the first game the Downs got there is probably who they're talking about going back to. Is my assumption.
I don't know.
So
next up, Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator who left as a head coach to go with Deion Sanders. Shout out to JUCO Football Frenzy. If you don't follow JUCO Football Frenzy, he's a great friend and a program watcher. Check him out. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. JUCO Football Frenzy. All the updated JUCO news in America. Plus, also he shares Division I coaching moves. Plus, he has all the players' contacts and information that he shares. I love the hire because I love that he got out of there. Meaning Colorado. Because I thought he got a fucked over short end of a stick there. No knock on Deion for doing what he did because he only knows his program's heartbeat. I'm not there. So I'm not going to speak on any of that. What I'm saying is, though, it's for him specifically. Glad he got out. He was a head coach. He wasn't winning big games in the MAC and all that yet. He just kind of got that place going, but he had churned them a little bit, had them going in a better direction at Kent State. I like that he's back in the helm. He's a great offensive mind. He did not get to run his offense. I know that. I'm telling you right now. And I love this move right here. I'd go fuck with him in San Diego State. Should I stay at the house, Big Smitty? I can still live here. I just drive every day. It's only an hour 15.
But coaches be coaching all day long. It's a hell of a drive. You have to rest on
I come back home around 1. I sleep. I leave here about 4. Go back.
That's not hell no. You can't fucking live off 3 hours of sleep every single day as a coach. Are you crazy? And expect to be at your best? Hell no. You crazy as hell. No. You can zoom in all you want to, JB. You can't get no 2-3 hours sleep.
Does he understand what the fuck I've done my whole life? That's what football coaching is, bro. What are you talking about? You don't think your Ball State coaches did that?
Not every single night. 3 hours of sleep?
Yeah, that's what you do. That is what you do. What do you mean?
But then you got an hour and a half commute, 2-hour commute?
But not at 3 in the morning. Not at
40 minutes, 45 at least.
Smitty don't get it, Coach Davis. Smitty don't know. Hey, players don't know until they go into that coaching world. That's what it is. Sometimes I'll stay at E-Dub's house. I stay with Josh. Okay. I stay if I had to.
As your homie, I prefer you to do that. So you not, because I don't want you, smoking stick, drinking whiskey, half sleep at the fucking wheel, your tire go flat.
You know how many times I slept in an office? Not healthy. Either it's fucking drinking fucking all the fucking 5-hour energies. Stop. So what? You can die walking your doggy. I'll sleep when I die. Stop. I like to hire Big Smitty. I like to hire. He'll probably hire some good young coaches. San Diego State, you're not going to be able to hire some big name guys. You can't pay them, not per the capita of rent. And the highest priced city in America is San Diego right now. So
why don't you reach out?
They can't pay like that. Reach out for what?
What you mean? Yeah.
You don't want me in San Diego State, by the way.
Yes, we do. We do. We all want you at San Diego State.
I'll tell you right now. You don't want me in San Diego State. You talking about all them decommitted coaches? You're going to be in San Diego State.
Call Sean Lewis. I know you connect to everybody.
You want cats that should be going to Bama end up in San Diego? You don't want it. I'm just telling you right now.
You don't have cats still connected to the street.
There'll be cats in San Diego. Cats be like, how the fuck San Diego State get fucking 5-star left tackle from fucking Louisiana?
Ooh, I want to see it, Chad. What y'all think, Chad? I want to see it. Man.
Hey, that'd be only similar because it's close to the house.
It's close. Weddle out there. It's nice. It's still, come up. Hey, man, I don't know. Hey, it don't hurt to do a phone call, connect the dots, just see what he's talking about.
I'm going to Vegas this morning. I kind of like going to Vegas. I like this. I like this still.
But listen, you are single, but you going to Vegas. Are you going to maximize being single?
You got to read what it says underneath.
Having the ability to do what you want when you want, where you want. Are you going to maximize being single in Vegas? There's a lot of opportunity to be single in Vegas. You be chilling in the hotel, you be gambling, drinking. That's a good time. But you got to go out there and get on some of these, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
JB can't recruit with the big boys, LOL. Would be great to see. Is that Adrian Peterson?
I don't know.
I thought that was
I'm not even gonna dive into it. Like
that was DeAndre Peterson.
I got more motherfuckers in the NFL than D1 coaches, but I can't recruit. All right, look, let's dive into the next thing. David Shaw. Let's come back to David Shaw. I got a person that's just hit us up. We're gonna have a special guest on in 7 minutes, Big Smitty, and it is gonna be the former interim head coach of the University of Colorado Buffaloes, the former offensive coordinator, University of Colorado Buffaloes, and the current head coach at Chaffey College, who just went 11-0 in his first season as a JUCO coach at Chaffey College, Darren Shiverini. He'll be joining us in 7 minutes. Let's take a quick break. Bring Darren back in, Coach Chev, when he gets back here. By the way, he also coached Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech. And he's going to give me all the beat because he loves Patrick and he knows.
About to get spicy. Big time guest. I'm going to give me some avocado toast real quick with some pico. Get my little Vita juice. And we're going to be back ready for this.
This motherfucker said avocado toast. Take me away, baby. Come out and say it's not as serious as maybe we thought, but then that could be fluff too. What do you got?
So Aaron Jones has had more MCL injuries than I can even think of. He's had at least 6 MCL injuries. And they're almost all to the right side, I want to say. But the MCL is the ligament that runs north to south on the inside of the knee. Usually getting tackled, you get tackled on the outside and the inside buckles, which is usually why it happens. The MCL does attach to the meniscus deep and is a protector of the ACL. So sometimes if the MCL goes out, the ACL will come along for the ride. And if the meniscus is involved with it, that can be what we call the unhappy triad. This is at the minimum an MCL. I don't know if his ACL, he had enough, of the angle. It was possible. I couldn't get zoomed in enough to see if the bone shifted, which is usually what happens. But if they said, hey, it's not as bad as we thought, that may be a good sign. Jones has done this, obviously, so many times. He knew it was serious enough to be distraught over it. Is he out this week? Of course. But is he out a long time? I don't know. I would say probably minimum 2 weeks up to a month is probably realistic. Remember, he's coming off that hamstring as well, or re-injury to the original hamstring. AJ Dillon has groin, so they're both banged up. They just signed James Robinson and somebody else, so that tells you kind of a little bit. And they got a short week. Remember, they
college real quick. A guy that was up for the Heisman might have ruined Florida State's chances at a playoff. How bad was it? How significant is it? Not only is his Florida State career over, is this guy's career over, or is it a possibility?
Look back.
So this is one of 2 injuries, likely. I mean, it could be a couple of weird things that could happen, but this is either an ankle dislocation or an ankle fracture dislocation. I will give you 2 examples. The one that is probably easiest to remember is Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
And the second one is Trey Lance. And they both happen to be quarterbacks. But if you saw that the way the foot was facing and he wasn't, usually that means it's dislocated, and usually it takes a fracture to do that, but not always, usually. If it was just dislocated, which is unlikely but possible, you're looking at about 8 weeks, which isn't bad. If it's fractured and dislocated, you're looking at 6 to 8 months.
Ooh.
Big difference. Big difference.
Was there a possible compound fracture there or no?
I mean, it's possible. It's unlikely. He could have had what we call a bimalleolar or trimalleolar, which basically means you break multiple bones in the ankle. usually the fibula, the small one on the outside. You can break the medial malleolus, which is that one on the inside, that end of the tibia, and you can break, some of the other little bones in there. Usually it doesn't do that. He will have arthritis at some point in his life because of this. It's inevitable, unfortunately. It depends on the severity of the ligament tear. That's the bones are going to heal. I'm not really worried about them. It's the ligaments that really cause the frustration. And that's usually the problem with these. And that's why you saw Dak not really be able to run for a couple of years. And he could throw fine, but he just didn't have the mobility. If you just trend it, I figured this was about the year that he would have that increase in mobility. Is that why Trey Lance never made it? Is it because it messes with his footwork? It messes with his mobility, his ability to push out? I don't know.
The game don't change for me. I live in the trench, and I always have. So the only thing that I can't do really is high-low. So essentially, I have this problem all the time. We talk about it all the time. Why is my brain and neck and shoulders not as important as the skill players? And then why are they? What is with the pussification of the skill players? But then we glorify the physicality of the big guys. Why do we have this double standard in the National Football League where it's like a triple standard? You have rules for the quarterback where he's like treated like a punter. If you touch him or blow on him, he falls over. I wonder how quarterbacks feel about them being called punters. You have rules for the skill players, like the running back can't lower his head to use it as a weapon, and neither can.
All right, we're back in the building. Avocado toast. Are you fucking shitting me? Without further ado, a real good friend of mine, JUCO legend himself, from the Southern California area, played at the University of Colorado, played receiver there, was drafted in the NFL, and has been coaching ever since, and has made his name in the Power 5 level at Texas Tech, University of Colorado, his alma mater. You all know Matt McChesney. He's on the show every day. He also is an alma mater alumni who loves the Buffs. One of my best friends in the world, Darian Hagan's at Colorado, of course. And this guy is a really good friend and a great, great coach, doing it big in JUCO. He's the head coach at Chaffee Community College as we speak right now, who just took the first year, took them to an 11-0 undefeated season. He was the interim head coach at the University of Colorado most recently before that. And this is not the guy, by the way. And now he's the head coach at Chaffee Community College here in the IE, Darren Cheverini. What up, Coach?
What's going on, Coach? Nice to meet you.
What up, man? What up, JB? How we doing, man?
Man, we're chilling, man. We're chilling. You at school or home?
I'm at home right now. I'm gonna hit some schools this morning recruiting, so I'm gonna hit some local schools out here in the Corona area. So now the season's over. I don't need to be scripting practice or anything, so I'm just on the road a lot.
No doubt. Man, I miss those shirts. I was like, I had deja vu. It's the same damn shirts we had. I just don't think we were Under Armour then. We were like swap meet.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Hey, man, hell of a job you did there, man. I think JUCO people, I don't think people realize that what we do, taking over bad programs, which I've done my whole life, you've done your whole life, and turning them rather quickly. It can be done nowadays. You say it can be done now easier than it could be back in our day, or you think because of the landscape, because of the portal, because of people moving around so easily, I guess?
I think it's easier nowadays because, with the influence of social media, the different platforms you can to reach kids and connect with them on different levels. I think that helps you, in the communication aspect, because as you know, JB, recruiting comes down to trust and communication. And these kids just want to feel like, you're going to help them. At the end of the day, that's all they want. They want to know if you can help them achieve their goals as players, as people. And, obviously getting this job at Chaffee as late as I got this job. I mean, I got this job at the end of May, which to think about that is just crazy. To get the job at the end of May, 0 players on the roster, and built it really. And I had 0 coaches too. I mean, I had 0 coaches when I walked in that building. So, I hired a good friend of mine who's a good football coach, Junior Tanavasa, and we just went to work, man. And we built a really talented freshman group that played a good schedule of teams, and to be able to beat teams like Santa Ana and Pasadena College twice, I mean, Pasadena's got a really good football program, and Coach Tucker does a good job. But for us to beat them twice and win the conference and win the division championship, man, that just shows a lot about these kids. You know, they played their hearts out all year, and they believed in my vision. And shoot, man, it was a lot of fun, a lot of work. But as you know, JB, we wear a lot of hats at the junior college level. You know, I spent 10 years at the Division I level, and I worked harder this year as a junior college head coach than I did the last 10 years. And so that tells you a lot.
Hey, you know, most D1 cats don't even want to touch this JUCO thing. You know that better than anybody. Junior, you know, I hired Junior at Indy, man, before I left there. I was trying to get Junior up there with me. So shout out to my USO. We got some USOs in the chat right here. A lot of people are excited to hear you today, man. So look, you took the interim job at Colorado. You were the head coach there, and you did a hell of a job there when you when they made a decision to move on. You took it, and I know you would have loved to have that opportunity. And I think people look at it now and like, oh, okay, now he's a JUCO head coach and goes undefeated. What if? What could? Like, do you get that ever?
Yeah, I get it a lot, man. I mean, even myself. You know, I was in a position as the interim head coach. I interviewed for the head job twice. I felt like I should have got the job. You know, obviously they went in a different direction. But yeah, there's so many great players that we were able to sign during my time at Colorado that when I was let go and I moved on to a different opportunity that they left. I mean, Jarek Broussard was the Pac-12 Player of the Year. He transferred out. Christian Gonzalez was a first-round draft pick. He transferred out. Mark Perry transferred to TCU, who just got invited to the East-West Shrine game. So a lot of really good football players left. And, you know, Brendan Rice, who's at USC, who's going to be probably a top round pick, also left. I mean, we had a good core of players that were from that 2018-19 signing class that ended up leaving after, you know, things didn't go, you know, the way we thought they were going to go. So it was disappointing. You know, I love CU. I'm always going to root for the Buffs. And hopefully I'll be back there someday. You know, I'm just going to continue to work my way up again as a head coach, you know, and that was kind of my goal coming back down to junior college. I've kind of proven myself as a coordinator. I've proven myself as a recruiter. I've proven myself as a receiver coach, develop a lot of talent in the NFL. But now I wanted to kind of bet on myself as a head football coach and kind of make a name for myself. And I know it can be done. California junior college is a good football, as you know, JB. There's good football being played in Southern California. So, you know, when you go undefeated, man, it gets people's attention.
No doubt. I'm not going to ask if people reached out to you already, but we know the landscape's moving. Sean Lewis, who was the OC there, who was the head coach in the MAC, Dion hired. He goes there, you know, demotes him, whatever it may happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. So he gets the job at San Diego State. I like the hire. I would have liked you to get the job. That would have been a great – but I like the hire. Do you like the hire?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Sean. I mean, I think he proved himself at Kent State. He did a good job early as the coordinator. I'm not sure what happened between him and Coach Sanders at CU, but obviously something happened. But you know, he's on to greener pastures. And you know, for me, I mean, there's been people reaching out. I think it's just a matter of what's the next step for me and what's the right move for me. I mean, I'm not going to make decisions too quickly. I'm going to just, you know, enjoy this ride that I'm on right now. And we put a lot of hard work in. We have a banquet tonight at Hidden Valley Golf Course, and we're going to celebrate this team. You know, and whenever you go undefeated, man, it's going to go down in the history as one of the great teams in Chafee football history. So that's something to celebrate and celebrate these kids.
No question.
No, that's huge, Coach. And like I said, nice to meet you as well. I mean, going undefeated, any level, any team is extremely hard to do, especially, you know, hearing your story. You get there in May, no players, no coaching staff. Like, it almost sounds like an impossible feat when you think about it. And to not only go out there and have success, but to be undefeated. I mean, I got to give you all your flowers right now for that. One thing that I kind of want to just get educated on because I come from a player's perspective. You know, played at Ball State, you know, haven't coached before. So I like to learn more. Talk about just the road, the journey that it takes to really, you know, I guess climb the ranks, so to speak, in the coaching rankings. Because it kind of seems like it's a who you know, not what you know type of field, but I could be wrong.
You know, I think the thing that you're seeing more and more nowadays is guys want to jump into prominent roles, and you have to put in the time. You have to be willing to grind and sacrifice and work yourself up. I mean, when I first started coaching, my first coaching job was at Mount Sac Junior College. You know, I was just out of playing professional football, and I knew I wanted to coach, and didn't make much money, and you know, just showed up every day learning and working. I think that the main thing that people have to understand is that you're not going to jump into making money right away. You know, you're going to have to earn your stripes, and you got to develop yourself as a coach. Even though you're a good football player, or you were a really good football, either D lineman or receiver, O lineman or quarterback, you have to learn how to coach. You have to understand structure. You have to understand organization. You have to understand the details that go into game planning. There's so many little intricacies that people don't really understand. They just watch the game and think, oh, I want to coach. But there's so much behind the scenes of, getting up at 4:30 in the morning, being in the office all day. Even at the junior college level, I mean, we're still grinding. Even though we're not making the money I was making at the Division I level, we're still putting in the hours. And so, if you want to get into coaching, it's a sacrifice. I see these ex NFL players, and I'm a former NFL player, but they say, hey, I want to be the head coach. Well, yeah, we all want to be head coaches. You got to put in the work to become a head coach. You got to be an assistant first. You got to be a graduate assistant first, then be a position coach, then be a coordinator, then become a head football coach. So you can't skip steps. I mean, I think you see sometimes that guys do skip some steps, and it doesn't usually turn out well because you're not ready, and there's a process to it. So I've been fortunate to be coaching college football now for 17 years. This is my first coaching job, my first head coaching job. And I was the interim at Colorado and felt like I was ready to get that job, but the powers that be decided that I wasn't. So, you keep moving, you keep working on your craft and keep getting better. And one thing I'm a firm believer in is that, destiny can be delayed, but it can't be denied. And so, if you're meant to be a head football coach, it's going to happen. If you're meant to be at the top of your profession, it will happen. If you work, but you have to work for it. And so, I always knew that I was going to be able to do these kind of things. I was just waiting for that opportunity for someone to believe in me to do it, and, I know this is not my destination, but this is where I'm at right now.
Man, that was beautifully said, JB. He said destiny can be delayed, but it can't be denied. I need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, if you do, then make sure you send me my money.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna give you 10%.
Hey, you gotta smoke another brick house tonight after the banquet. Listen, let me ask you this: the portal thing is I did a little clip yesterday. We clipped it out. Big Matt McChesney, he loves you to death. He did a little. We did a little more video. Injuries than ever. Wonder why philosophies are fucked. Wonder why fucking football is so goddamn watered down. Because of this reason right here, and it's not NIL. It's the portal. You agree to that or no?
I think the portal, there needs to be some legislation, some congressional legislation on the portal. I don't think the portal is a bad thing. I do think that there needs to be steps taken to be able to get into the portal. I think one, you need to be either a grad transfer or you need to be at least 3 years into college before you can make that move. Because looking back on my career at the University of Colorado, I mean, I was a 17-year-old freshman that did not redshirt. I did not play a lot my first year. I played a little bit, but I did not redshirt. And so I could have been one of those people that have been like, hey, man, I'm not playing enough. I need to transfer out of here. I need to go to another place that loves me more. And, I stayed the course, man. I backed up a first-round draft pick for 2 years at the University of Colorado, and I didn't get to start till my junior year. And, my junior year, I was all conference. My senior year, I was all conference. Then I got drafted in the NFL. So I do believe there's going to be some growing pains for young players, whether you're a 4-star, 5-star, 3-star, whatever it is. There's going to be growing pains at the 4-year level. And I think right now what the portal allows players to do and parents to do is like, okay, my son's not getting reps. My son's not getting the ball. My son's not playing. Let's get in the portal. Yeah. That's just not right. There's going to be some hard times. And I think there needs to be some legislation that says, okay, yeah, the portal is a good thing, but right now this is not what it was meant to do. Okay. And there needs to be just some rules put in place. Like, hey, yeah, these kids can transfer, but it's after 2 years. It's after 3 years. It's after them graduating, but not like one and dones that try to, okay, I'm not playing. I'm gonna go somewhere else. We
got semesters and done.
What's that?
We're doing semester and league.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. They're playing a fall. They're playing a fall and leaving. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's hurting the game as we know it, And I think there's got to be something done on that and NIL. I mean, listen, I'm all about players getting money. That's fine. But if we're gonna do this, then let's do it the right way. There's need to be, if we're gonna do it, let's have salary caps then. Okay. Because right now what's going on is the big dogs in this profession, the big dogs in this college football, they're buying all the top players. And the other guys are not competing on that level. Well, I saw what Dion said about, hey, we're not going to be an ATM. Well, they should be an ATM to a point. They should have a level of money if we want to win at the highest level, because that's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So what? Let's just make it. Let's level the playing field. Okay, the Power 4 conferences, as it sits right now, let's put salary caps in each of those conferences and watch how the level of play kind of evens out. Because right now, the top dogs are paying for the top dogs, and that's why they're winning. Listen, right. I'm a football coach, and I know I'm a good football coach, but I'm a much better football coach when I have better players. and I don't have to scheme as much, because some of those guys that have the really good players across college football, they're not scheming so much. They're running against 8-man fronts, and they're still getting yards because they got better players. And so let's level the playing field a little bit and make it fair for the Power 4 conferences, because some of these coaches that sit, like at those high level schools, they think they're better coaches than they really are because they got really good players.
No question. We already know that.
Yeah,
I got to ask you. So Matt comes on, he for the first, 3 months of the season, he's been, pro Dion, pro Colorado. Of course, he's an alum. He's still pro Colorado. He's always going to be Colorado, just like you are. He's now starting to turn a little bit on what's happening lately. Colorado's losing players, coaches, decommits left and right. Is this something to worry about for your alma mater, or is it something that people are starting to say, okay, we're seeing something that we may not have thought was originally the message? We're seeing through it, or is Dion the guy, and you're sold on this?
I think people gotta remember it's year one of a massive rebuild. I mean, Dion took over a program that was 1-11. Obviously, he decided to make the changes he made and bringing in a whole new roster, which unprecedented in college football. I think for him to win 4 games he exceeded expectations. And so, as far as decommitments go, I mean, shoot, if you're losing a 2025 commitment, ain't a big deal. I mean, shoot, those kids are going to come and go. I mean, I think what the next step for coach is, he's just got to decide, okay, what is his staff going to look like? Obviously Sean left. I'm sure there's other pieces that are going to be leaving. He's got to solidify his coordinator on offense. What kind of system are we going to be running? That's probably why there's some decommitments right now with quarterbacks and all those kind of things, because Sean left, and I'm sure Sean was the primary recruiter. So he's got to solidify what kind of offense he's going to run, because he went from basically running tempo spread to running pro style NFL stuff with Coach Shermer. So, players want the ball, JB, as we know. They want to score points. And, nothing against the pro style systems. They're good systems if you have very good offensive linemen and tight ends. Right now, we're not built that way. And so I think that's why the spread system probably made a little bit more sense at Colorado. And so I would imagine that coach is probably going to hire someone that has, influences in both areas, that can throw it and can run it. And probably going to get, someone that's a little bit more in tune with the college game, because the college game is much different than the pro game. And, me being around it, I know the differences between those two different types of systems. So I think that, Colorado's made a bunch of money this year, and that's obviously helping. And now they got to take the next step forward next year and get to a bowl game. I think 6-6 or going, 7-5 next year is progress. And people are so quick to want everything right now, and you got to build it. I mean, you got to build things, and there's a process to it. And I think Dion knows that. And, Coach Sanders, I'm a fan of his, and I played against him in the NFL, and shoot, I've met him a couple times, and, but he's still young in the profession as far as his coaching ranks go. So he's developing his identity, what he wants as a head coach. And so, he's a smart guy. I'm sure he's going to be fine, and he's going to figure out what he wants over there. And they're going to give him time, because that was the guy they wanted. So he's going to have some time to build that thing the right way.
Hey, speaking of that, so we do that in the media. I think Stephen A's and the big time platforms, we anoint guys so quickly though as the next best thing, right, that I think we set them up for failure. Because now I don't believe Dion, I call him Coach Sanders, if he's really going to do this the right way, get rid of Coach Prime, but I've been saying that. I think Sanders needs to understand, like, this is going to be my profession. I'm going to do this full go. Then I need to be the professional at this and call myself Coach Sanders and approach this way. But I don't believe he'll ever reach the ceiling that we've put him on, that we've set him up for failure. I think Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp and all these guys, like, he's the best thing ever. And dog, he's never going to reach that potential. Like, you're not surpassing Nick Saban. Like, not right now. I would love to see. Let's see it, but we got to pump our brakes, and that's why I think we set him up. It's not all on him. We've set him up to have a horrible crash.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think the media has definitely, hyped that situation up to, unbelievable proportions. But, you also got to see that the first 8 weeks of the season, Colorado had 6 of the highest rated watched games in college football.
That's wild.
That's wild coming off a 1-11 season. So, the Deion factor, obviously is paying itself forward for Colorado football. I think now the next step is putting a very good product on the field, and developing your players on and off the field. And I said the portal is good, but it's hard to build a culture with portal all the time, because those players come into your system, and it's almost like they're hired guys that are going to be there for just 1 year. It's hard to develop your culture that way. And, good culture is always going to beat talent. If you have a good culture within your football program, guys like Coach Winningham at Utah does an unbelievable job. They have an unbelievable strong culture. If you have good culture, it's going to beat talent any day. And so I think the next step would be for Colorado to, sign good high school and, obviously get some transfer players, develop those players over a year, 2 years, 3 years. And that's when you're going to see yourself winning at a high level consistently. I think, what Coach, Sanders was able to do this year is unprecedented. I even said that. I was shocked that they beat TCU. I was shocked that they beat Nebraska early in the season. Now it come to find out that those teams weren't very good at the end of the year, but they still did that early when no one knew that.
Right.
And so my hats were off to Deion and what he's been able to accomplish. And I think he's got to find the right staff guys around him too, because one guy cannot do it. You got to find good guys, good football coaches, not your buddies, good football coaches that can coach ball and can recruit. Because believe me, the top teams have the best players. We all know that. I mean, that's what I think sometimes people don't understand in college football. It's not a level playing field. Okay, there's the haves and have-nots. There's people that are buying players, and the best players are going to go to who's paying them the most money, especially right now in the NIL world we're living in. It's a different world, man. In the old days, they'd hand you a bag. They don't have to hand you a bag no more. They can post it on social media like, hey, I just got $1 million deal.
It's crazy.
So-and-so college. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I mean, we're seeing Cam Ward from Washington State. He said he had like 5 schools offered him $1 million to transfer.
10.
Like it's out there in the open. Like in the old days, you'd have to
sneak it around.
Cam Newton had to go to church and they put it in a bag for him. I mean, that ain't happening no more, man. So we're living in a different world, and I believe in my heart that if you're a college football program and you want to compete at the highest level, well, you're going to have to be paying some of these kids. You're going to have a payroll, and you're going to have almost a manager that is managing the money and knowing who's getting what, because that's the world we live. That's where we're headed until there's some kind of legislation that says, hey, okay, we're all playing with this kind of money. This is what you get. This is your bank. Once you spend your bank, then you're done. But we ain't there right now. It's just kind of like the wild, wild west right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Andrew Boudreaux, we'll get to that question right before Chef gets off. Chef, 2-part question before you get out of here. I gotta ask you, to Deion's side, on his side of things, on this double-edged sword take. Pac-12 has been as good as we've probably seen in the last 25 years. As far as top to bottom, I believe the best conferences, bottom teams dictate how good the conference is overall. I think the bottom Pac-12 teams is much better than the bottom of the SEC. I think the Pac-12 has been the best conference all year long. I think they're going to knock each other out. Like I said, they have. Arizona's playing probably as good as anyone in America right now. And you could argue that they got 3 losses. They won't play in anything, but I would not want to play Arizona right now if I was any team in America, including Georgia or anyone else. Having said that, I think Deion's taken a little bit of unfair criticism because the conference has been better than we've been in a long time. This isn't the normal Big Pac-12. But him moving to the Big 12, your old conference, Big 8, Big 12, is that going to even benefit him more and possible help him win a few more games next year in the first year in the new Big 12?
You know, I've always felt like I played in the Big 8. I played in the last year in the Big 8, and I played in the Big 12. And so I always thought when we made the move from the Big 12 to the Pac-12, I didn't necessarily agree with that move. I didn't think it made sense regionally. I didn't think it made sense with recruiting ties. And so I think going back to the Big 12 makes a lot of sense for Colorado. You know, obviously, you know, Texas is a huge recruiting base. And, you know, when I was at CU as a player, you know, we had, you know, our roster was built with California, a little bit of Colorado, Texas, Hawaii. And that's how our roster was built at Colorado back in the 90s when we were a force to deal with throughout the Big 8 and the Big 12. And, you know, we were able, when I first got back there as a recruiting coordinator, we were able to dip back in there and sign guys like Laviska Shenault from DeSoto, sign Katie Nixon from DeSoto, sign Christian Gonzalez from Colony, sign Will Sherman from Allen High School. They were all NFL draft picks. And I think that for Colorado going back to the Big 12 is going to help, you know, Deion, and going to help the staff recruit the state of Texas even more, because now you're going to be playing teams year in and year out again on your schedule that are going back to Texas. Your parents can watch you play. I think that's huge for us, because at the end of the day, recruiting matters, and your recruiting base matters of where you guys are playing games. And so when CU made the move to the West Coast, you know, there wasn't a lot of games in Texas. So a lot of those Texas kids didn't want to come to CU because their parents could never watch them play. And so I think it makes a ton of sense for them going back. I think it's going to help the football program and the longevity of the football program. It's going to help the status of the football program. And it's going to help Coach Sanders and his staff recruit at a higher level. And, you know, eventually they got to get to a point where, you know, it's not just all portal players. It's high school players that you're developing throughout your program to develop the culture you want. And then you add some portal players where there's some issues.
Yeah. No doubt.
I love it. One thing I want to ask you on here, Coach, before you go, we just debated about this probably about 30 minutes ago before you jumped on. What's your overall take on the 12-team playoffs, you know, starting next year? I think it's good, because now I think it'll cancel out all the, like, oh, this team should have got in, or Oregon was better than this team. Coach JB thinks it's actually watering it down, in the sense that we're putting teams into the playoffs who we know should not even have the opportunity to face these top teams. What's your overall take on moving to 12 teams?
You know, I think it's definitely good for college football. I mean, if you notice, the way the playoffs are formatted right now, there is only a handful of teams every year that have a chance to actually win the national championship because of the way the system is built. Yeah. And so I think going to the 12-team format,
that would be it right now, Chev. That would be it if we were to do it this year.
Yeah. See, what I love about it is that you're going to have good football teams playing against elite football teams, and good football teams should still have a chance to make the playoffs. And that's my opinion, because if you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, how it sits, if you go back the last probably 7 years, there's probably maybe one outlier. That's it. It's always the same guys almost every year. So there's only, I think, a handful of 5, 6, 7 teams that actually have a chance to legitimately win a national championship. Going to the 12-team format, what's going to be really cool about this format is you're going to see some teams that are sitting at, you know, 10-2 or 11-1 that get into the playoffs, and they're going to end up winning the national title because they have a really good football team. And when they play that elite team on that Saturday, they're the better. They show that they're the better team, and that's a great thing for college football. That's what makes it great. Imagine if college basketball, they have 64. Imagine if they only had 8 teams make the play. Imagine the tournament being 8 teams in college basketball.
Thank you.
There's so many good teams that sit out there that can't get in, and now it's the 64. Obviously, there's always going to be your Cinderella stories that get through. I think it's great for the game, man. It's good for the coaches. It's good for the players, because it's going to show you that coaching matters. Because, yeah, we couldn't buy the top players, but you know what? We got a damn good football team, and we're going to out-scheme you this week. You know, I love that.
I like that take. Here's my argument why I think it's watered down. This week, Alabama plays Georgia. Their next year's scenario, they're both in the playoff. regardless of this SEC championship game, regardless, I see the excuses already being made. Guys sitting out. The SEC title game means diddly shit. It doesn't matter. We're both getting in the playoff. I don't know if they're meaningful anymore. Like, why?
The seeding, JB. Again, the seeding will matter.
I think the seeding matters because who's going to host the game? Like, is it going to be in Tuscaloosa, or or is it going to be? You know what I mean? I think that matters, and I think like this year, like Texas beat Alabama. Texas probably has a better resume than the University of Oregon, and yet Texas, if Oregon wins, Texas ain't getting in. And and Texas is a one-loss team, and that lost the Red River Shootout, in the last minute of the game,
Let me ask you. So you think if Bama were to beat Georgia, let's just say it happens. For me, if I'm a college football guy and I know the games I've seen this year, and I know who the coaches are and I know who the quarterbacks are, which you and I know in this college landscape, that position is huge. It carries a lot of weight as to who I want to watch play. Not only for dollars that the old BCS, but now the College Football Committee wants to see. They want to bring in dollars. Florida State don't have a quarterback. Let's just be honest right now. I don't believe Ohio State has one either. I think those would be both one and dones in a playoff format right now. I also think that Nix is playing at a Heisman level. Penix has played at a Heisman level all year. Jaden Daniels, I think, is the best player, IE kid right here in Cali. I think he's been the best player all year long, just not on the best team. But having said that, like, don't you see like this being kind of more is less scenario in the matter of like, all right, listen, the 64 team playoff that we grew up in NCAA basketball, now it's gone to 66. There's a play-in. We always add more. Like, when is it enough? Because and I know, Chev, next year the 13th team left out is going to be pissed that they weren't the 12th team.
But at least I think at least getting to 12. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable for the fans to watch that. It's going to be unbelievable for the coaches that get a chance to be in those playoff situations, and it's going to be a great situation for those players to get a chance to play in those playoff situations. The great thing about football, as we all know, is that you don't win on paper. I mean, you don't win on paper. So you might have the best players, you might have the best team as far as the rankings say, you might have the better coach. But at the end of the day, the players decide on the field who's going to win that game. And that's what's great about this game. That's what's great about the underdog stories as they sit. But the way the format's been for the last since the BCS was, all that stuff has been going on. It's been 4 teams. It's been almost the same 4 teams almost every year. I think you can go look back. It's probably a couple.
Back to my original question, I didn't finish. Do you think if Bama were to beat Georgia, that both Bama and Georgia are not top 4 teams in the country? I still think Georgia, who hasn't lost in 3 years.
But if Georgia loses in that SEC championship game, they're getting in.
You still think Georgia's getting in too?
I still think Georgia's getting in because Georgia hasn't lost a game in 2 years.
I do too.
They're going to get in. They'll drop the 4, but they'll get in because.
So who's going to? So this is my scenario. So Watson has to win to get in, and now we're talking about a Pac-12 or an ACC title or champ may not get in, and this could be the first time an undefeated team don't get in Florida State or in Washington. I can see.
Well, I think if Washington wins, they're in.
Yeah, I think so.
Washington wins, they're in. They'll probably jump to 2. Who's sitting at 2 right now? Is it
Michigan's number 2, so they'll win. They'll go
Michigan
number 1 probably.
Go 1, right? Alabama would probably slip in at 3, and then Florida State might get bumped out. But I think the fact that Washington quarterback's healthy is going to play into the fact that if Florida State wins that game and their quarterback's hurt, they might not get in. It just might not get in. And I think you'll probably get 2 SEC teams in if Alabama beats Georgia.
But Texas wins out. You're going to leave them out. This is going to be so I would not want to be this committee.
Well, the problem is that Texas I saw the rankings yesterday. Texas is sitting at 7, right?
Yeah, you got the rankings, Bailey. Bailey, pull up the rankings again.
I believe they're 7 in the college.
Yeah, because Oregon's number 5.
Oregon's 5. But
I'm shocked, Chev. I'm shocked that Texas and Oregon aren't both above Ohio State because Ohio, as we know, is over the years, if the history is correct, recency bias. Ohio State just lost. I get to Michigan, but to Michigan without their head coach has to have some type of weight.
But Harbaugh was coaching all week long, though. He just was there on the sideline.
Yeah, I get it. But this guy's been a guy who's been suspended
if
twice
Harbaugh
now.
was a coordinator, I'd say it would carry more weight. But when the head coach is not a coordinator, not calling the plays, I think if he's there all week and he just says not there for the game day, it's not going to be a big deal to the players. The players are going to go out there and do what they do. You know what I mean? But I think if Texas was sitting at 5 right now, and Alabama ends up beating Georgia, then I say there's some movement there. You know what I mean? But I just don't. Alabama's sitting at 8 right now. Even if they beat Georgia, they're only going to jump up to probably like 5 or 6. And so Washington wins, they're in. If Georgia loses, they're probably dropping to 4.
But if Bama beats Georgia, you think seriously they're going to leave an SEC champ out of the playoff? No,
they're going to have to because Alabama's so low. I think if Alabama was sitting at 6, then yes. But sitting at 8, that's a tough jump to get in the top 4.
And then like you said, Texas beat Alabama this season.
Yeah,
so Texas goes out and wins.
Alabama would,
Like, how do you put Bama in front of Texas if Texas beat y'all and they got the?
There's no way. I would bet my house. There's no fucking way you're leaving an SEC champ off this deal. There's no way. The money talks in the history of this game.
But they're just gonna leave. They're gonna leave Georgia in there, so they'll still have an SEC representative. You know what I mean?
So you think Georgia would stay even if they lost, kind of like TCU last year?
I think they would drop to 4 just because the Alabama nostalgia. I mean, everybody respects Nick Saban. Everybody respects that program for what they've done in the 7 national championships, I believe it is. I mean, shoot, even if they lose that game, it depends on how they lose too, JB. If it's a close game, they lose on a field goal late, then, if Alabama goes in there and just convincingly beats them, then no, they drop out. But those factors play into the voting as well, I think.
Hey, it's going to be interesting. We got a kid that dropped a super chat. He wants to know he's going to get into coaching his first year. Any advice?
My advice to young coaches, and I get a lot of questions about this, is that, I think junior college football is a great place to start because you get to be around good coaches that know the game. You also get to interact with college coaches that are recruiting, coming through the office. You get to coach a position, which is important nowadays. I think what people don't realize is that you have to do it. You have to get on the field and coach, get in the classroom and teach. And I think the junior college level provides that. I'm very fortunate that I was able to get in at the junior college level and work my way up. And, I'm very fortunate that a guy like Coach Jastrup at Mount Sac gave me an opportunity to coach and to develop. And so my advice to any young coach is get into junior college football and go coach. I mean, that's what you want to do. Go coach.
No question. No question. Chev, always a pleasure, man. You and the wife got to come down, man. See the crib.
Yeah, get some brick houses, bro. I'm there, man.
I got 3,000 cigars in my lounge. Come on, man. I got 1,000 of them.
I saw that room, man. That's next level, bro.
Hey,
this man got a movie theater. He got a pool getting installed. He got a cigar lounge. He got what else? You got, JB?
I'm trying to be like Chef. Shit.
This machine in the backyard.
Hey, we'll cook it up. I'm going to Vegas today. My boy Pat Perez, and then I'll be back Friday, and then Saturday we're gonna do a little poker night. Watch all the games. Steve Kim, bunch of people. So, but anytime we'll hook up.
Yeah, tell Pat let's go play some golf, man. I'll head out to Vegas too. I love playing golf, man.
Hey, we're playing the best course. Some people say in the world out in Vegas. It's so private you can't they turn down like A-listers and it's crazy, man. Pat with that Jordan walks in there. They go, Pat, come on in. It's crazy. We're the only one on the course, man.
That's
it's
awesome,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah,
well,
Shadow Creek. Man. You heard of that Shadow Creek out there?
Yeah, of course, man.
So anytime, man. I'm always in Arizona at his house, play Silverleaf. So we'll go out there and do it.
All right, sounds good, bro.
All right, Chad, keep grinding, man. Congratulations.
All right, have a good one.
And we'll see you soon.
All right, bro.
Later.
Yeah, man.
Darren Cheverini, everybody.
Legend right there, man.
Shout out.
People don't understand to get to a school in May when football workouts literally starts basically right now and right there in June. You don't have no staff, no players, and to not only have success but to go undefeated, y'all. I don't think y'all understand how hard that is to do, man. So he's being humble, but man,
here's the equal. So Compton College, my alma mater, hired a coach, a buddy of mine, similar time.
Yep.
They not only didn't win a game, they forfeited their season. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta understand. Shafee's in a much better conference also. But it's very hard to do. It's one of those deals.
Hey, our chat is crazy as hell, man. Shout out to our chat. You see this right here?
What is that?
Smitty's avocado breakfast toast. Somebody took a screen grab when I showed
That's
you.
yours, shit.
They took a screenshot when I showed my toast real quick and made a new account and put it as a picture. That I gotta take a bite now. I've been sitting here trying to be respectful. My toast ain't even hard no more.
I was hoping, like with your professional courtesy background of Fox and all these people that have nurtured and tutored and mentored you, that you weren't gonna take a bite of that shit while he was talking.
Hey, I wasn't gonna do it out of respect, but I'll do it in front of your ass.
Hey, no respect. See, that's why we don't fuck with each other. We don't talk to each other. We don't do any of that shit after the thing. I got some white people shit first.
Ooh.
We still got a lot to discuss.
Let's do
David
it.
Shaw, maybe the next head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to dive into that. But we're going to, first of all, talk some white people shit. This is white people shit.
Was that your homeboy driving?
They collided with another helicopter. Like,
and you saw Buddy was tapping him on the shoulder, like, bro.
He kind of went quick too. He was like, and then he grabbed the chair.
Did bro not see him? Was he drunk? Was he half asleep?
Dog, first of all, I gotta believe if it was a brother or myself, even I'm grabbing the pipe. Mm-hmm. And I may take over and I might flip, I might turn that motherfucker. I don't know nothing about a helicopter, but I might turn that shit myself.
You know how to turn that motherfucker, yeah. That's crazy. Are they alive?
Here's some black people shit, but it's from someone like, who's our new member that I called whitewashed earlier?
It was my brother, bald head, dark skin.
Yeah, what's his name? Kevin Turner or something?
Something like that. Let me see.
This is Kevin Hall. I believe Kevin Hall is who's talking. Okay. So it's really black people shit, but white people shit. If you get what I'm saying, take a look at this. Take a look at this.
Old booty, and everybody says she's a fine booty. The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy. Put there by God, that's the garbage can. So how you get so messed up with this white boy? You think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. That's like going to Kmart. You see a big old garbage can, that's the filth. And now we can convince her she walks switching that big old booty and all that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there.
That's Dick Gregory, man. That's a legend right there. RP to the legend. He said ain't nothing but doo-doo in there. Hey, to each his own.
Hey, first of all, let's be honest.
Oh, shoot.
You got to have major pipe for that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have major
She ain't going to feel like you behind her like your arm's so wide, it's off the screen.
I mean, I'm saying you can spread that bitch out all the way open. You got to have still got to have major pipe, though.
You got to hit that like imagine like you know how you making a pallet on the floor.
Only one way to hit that from the side.
Yeah, you gonna let me see.
Nah, you gotta have pipe though. You got pipe
to even get there. Yeah, to even you might have to look missionary her big ass. Put that leg on here. You might have to because like.
But that's going that I can tell you from experience. That is Badussy right there, dog. That's gonna hit you. That's gonna hit you, and you might burn your motherfucking nostrils.
But that motherfucker probably good as hell though. If you put that mask on, you put that 19 mask on, and turn to the side. That motherfucker probably because she gonna think about a big woman. She gonna appreciate the hell out of you. She gonna appreciate everything from you because she ain't really getting it like that. So that motherfucker gonna be.
Shout out to. I bet you it's wet though.
Super like no, it's like beyond. It's like
it's so wet, especially again. If you don't got major piping, it's super wet. She ain't feeling your shit.
You gonna be good though.
Shout out to Kevin Hall, the Yay area in the house. Yay. Yay area. It ain't Compton, but it's all right. You get respect. You get Richmond in the house. I hear you. I've been
Compton is real like gentrified. Compton is beautiful now, bro. Have you been through there? Now it's safe. It's nice. People outside walking around. They're building new spots. Like,
it's safe.
It's a good thing though. Like, listen, you know what's so crazy in our culture?
Safe and nice.
Y'all know what's so crazy in our culture, y'all? We like, and we all do. I'm guilty.
It's all Mexican anyway now. So.
We be bragging about our hoods. Like, yeah, you come to my spot. You mess around.
Hey, you want the hardest one. You want the toughest one.
You mess around, get your ass
I grew up in the 80s. They're the worst country in the country. Like, damn, homie.
You couldn't even walk outside without seeing a dead body on the street.
Yeah, right. We want to be safe.
Yeah, he's like, you couldn't even walk outside without seeing a body on the street. I used to go to the bus stop and almost get shot. I'm like, damn, for real? Well, shit, I did get shot. It's like you having a competition about who had it harder. But now that I'm older, I'm like, that shit is so crazy. Like,
I'm from Compton. Shit, that's it. It ain't nothing like it. You can't even watch. You couldn't survive in my hood. Yeah,
that's not a good thing.
That ain't a good thing.
Like,
Compton is nice and peaceful though.
I want my kids, my future kids to be like, I want my future kids to be like, hey, I grew up in a gated community with the big ass house and the pool. I want to have a conversation where like y'all competing about who house is nicer, not about who shit is worse. And I think when you grow up poor, you got to find ownership in something. So you have to find a way to be like, make your situation be a positive, even when it's clearly not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. David Shaw, he may be the next Vegas head coach, according to some reports. Look, he came from an NFL pedigree. He started as a youngster in the NFL. His daddy, he's got NFL pedigree. I think he's a great coach. I think he's more fit for the NFL. Once the portal came, he got his ass whooped up at Stanford. Before the portal and the NIL era, he was a wreck. You did not want to go up into Stanford. I'm just telling you right now.
Boy.
That is NFL. That is what he did. 22, 32, 33, 23 personnel, shift, double tight end, move it around, have a true NFL Andrew Luck running play pass with a Christian McCaffrey, and that is NFL. I think he fits it. I think it would be a good hire. I don't know if AP can hold on to the gig just because of the history of what we've seen before with these owners. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a good call. No, I agree with you. I mean, he was a hell of a coach.
I wouldn't be mad at him in Carolina, though.
Man, just give him an opportunity because he was a hell of a coach, man. Had a great run. Obviously, didn't end the way that you wanted to, but I mean, at the end of the day, that guy, man, Stanford was a powerhouse while he was there. Every single year, you knew, like, hey, we got to strap up and lace up our boots and be ready for Stanford. So I agree with you, man, and I think it will be a great addition to the league, to a franchise. He's still relatively younger overall, so he can kind of still get the vibe of the player, especially coaching at college for so long. He understands this generation as well. So I agree with you. I think he'd be a hell of a hire and a good way to shake up the coaching a little bit.
Next topic, best available college coaching jobs that are open right now. Right. So A&M just got filled. I'm going to go on I'm going to see if anything's been filled today. Football Scoop is always a great place to go check out.
Shout out to Football Scoop, man.
So San Diego State just got their job, right?
Yep.
Houston's open, all right? So Dana was fired. Holgerson was fired the other day, and now it's come down to a few people. And what I'm hearing is Gary Patterson, Cliff Kingsbury.
What I tell you about Cliff.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same old story. I've heard Willie Fritz at Tulane, and I've heard Barry Odom from UNLV, and I've heard UTSA coach Jeff Traylor, a good friend of mine.
Willie Fritz would be a hell of a hire.
Yeah, I don't know if I love Willie. He's one of my best mentors in this business. I don't know if an older white can go to Houston.
Yeah.
Now listen, he's in New Orleans right now. So it's not really as black as you can get. What I'm saying is, though, Houston's a step up. It's going to be bigger. They're in a bigger Power 5 conference now. So can he go there and do what he's doing in Tulane? Yes is the reason I say yes is for this reason. Tulane has a very, very harsh academic restriction on Coach Fritz, and he would love to have this academic restraint. What he's doing there with the academic rigor is unmatched. Like, there's not a lot of coaches. What Elko did at Duke with the academic rigor is very, very – no one talks about. No one talks about what Clawson did at Wake Forest when you have to have a 4.0 to get in there. What Elko did at Duke. What people struggle to do. What James Franklin did at Vanderbilt is very, very hard to do, by the way. It's a 4.0 institution. Stanford, Cal Berkeley, Tulane, Rice in Texas. Rice, very, very hard fucking school to get into. So the coaches, Navy, the military schools, people don't know how hard those jobs are. Houston, it's let's go, let's get it crack. I mean, Willie could do it there. Yeah. Not saying he can't, but I just don't know at this point if he wants to take that risk at his age. Because at the end of the day, even though his resume speaks for itself, this is the type of job at his age that could end his career too. Because who's going to hire him back after, let's say, knock on wood, I don't think he would fail. He's never failed at any level in his life. But if he did, for instance, because of the NIL, the transfer portal being the way it is, the game has changed, even though he's adapted. You adapt or die in this business. Let's just say he does. Who's hiring a 65-year-old at another school right now?
It might be a wrap, but hey, you play to win the game. You play to win the game. No, you got to roll that dice. You know what I'm saying?
He would.
Bet on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think, hey, Black players, we've been playing for white coaches our entire lives. T. Rich said that. I've never had a black head coach in football. I've always had a white head coach. So like the whole, like, we ain't tripping. If you're a football guy and we can respect you as a leader, as a man, and you giving us fair opportunity to go out there and actually showcase our talent, and you know how to talk to us, and just like, yeah, we ain't like black folk. We don't be tripping over that stuff like that. Now, yeah, is it cool to have somebody who's like relatable and you see somebody who look like you? Of course, I'm not saying that, but like, if you a good ass head coach, you a good ass head coach. White, black, orange, blue, purple, or green. So I don't think he would have any issue there at all. And you bring up a hell of a point, man. When you think about the academic part of it, a lot of times we don't think about that, but that literally like cuts your recruiting in half. Probably more, because most of these athletes, let's be real, they not focusing on school and they not at the level academic wise where they can make it into a Duke or a school like that. So for you to still have success at schools like that, oh my God, like that's a hell of a coaching job.
No doubt. UC Davis just came open. Former Colorado Buff head coach Dan Hawkins has stepped down to spend more time with the family. He said UC Davis, another FCS school in Northern California, very, very fucking hard to win. Their academic rigor is unbelievable. Tim Brewster, after leaving Colorado, has taken a job at the University of Charlotte. So he's back on the East Coast. The Houston job's intriguing to me. Mississippi State was filled. We got other jobs that are still open, but the most intriguing job out there, I don't know what you think is the most intriguing, but
what about
is a big one.
I think that's probably the biggest one, because the market, like, if you know, like in the NIL area and recruiting, like you're in Houston, you in Texas, so much opportunity there. If you know which, like, imagine JB in Houston. Oh my God! Like this, and I'm using JB as an example. I'm just saying somebody like you who knows how to recruit the right way and talk to you. That's a prime location. You know what I'm saying? So it just gives you the best opportunity, I think, to really excel and really take a school to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
The other jobs have been filled. Duke's gonna have to fill theirs. Syracuse just filled theirs.
Ohio State might be open in a couple months.
Nah. UTEP came open. Coach Damel, Dana Damel has gone. He was fired. So there's some jobs. UTEP's not an actual hotbed. Shout out to Josh Fele in the chat, who's a UTEP minor. I don't know if that's a job that people are trying to go get, like a Houston. But the jobs are now closed up really quickly. And then now there's coordinators being let go. Arizona State, good friend of mine is the head coach. Obviously, he just let go Bo Baldwin, OG in the profession as OC. So he'll probably end up taking over the O. He's taking over the O. He may take over the O, but now there's an OC job. Now you may lose another head coach at a smaller school to go take an OC job at Arizona State. So, there's a lot of moving parts that are still going to happen here in the next 2 to 3 weeks, especially before the December signing period at the 4-year level. So there's a lot of moving things that are going to happen here. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least, to see all these jobs. But Houston would have to stick out right now. If I were to ask, I would say Houston's got to be the best gig. I agree. I don't know. Max Crosby. He had an infection in his knee. And let's listen to Dr. Jesse Morris if we can play that on Max Crosby.
Say that is because if you watch this video here of him speaking, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about.
Please break us down from Monday to game time, please. Had some fluid buildup. The shit was blown up like a balloon. And I wake up the next morning, almost pass out. I felt like I was dying. I was literally bedridden. I could not move. Then I get a call that night, and they're like, okay, we need to go to the hospital in the morning. We found there's bacteria in my fluid.
So in order for this to happen, he had to have had some type of component get inside of the knee capsule, we call it. So what do I mean by that? Did he have a needle injected in there to put a cortisone shot or to pull fluid out or something? Did he have a cut on the skin that introduced bacteria from the outside into the skin and eventually into the joint? He could have also had bacteria in his bloodstream, what we know as sepsis, that happened to deposit into the joint. That's less likely because he would have been much sicker than this played out. We don't know exactly how he got it, but we do know that what happens is you put a needle into the joint, either from the anterior part or from the lateral part when you're laying down like this, usually with the help of an ultrasound, and you remove fluid out of the joint. You do this for a couple reasons. One, to relieve symptoms, and two, to if you're concerned, if it's yellowy pus, but if that's it gets into the blood, kind of crazy. So this is according to plan. The knee comes down, the bacteria evacuates and gets killed, and then eventually the knee will be fine.
So,
man, what you think?
But your boy Jonathan Taylor can't do it. I'm just saying, what do I know?
Different strokes for different folks, JB. Everything.
It looks like it's a pass rusher that needs his knee, and we're gonna take a surgery for a thumb that you can hold the ball.
Get it fixed. Why? Because listen, JB, all we care about is being tough and playing now. Let's say he goes out there and plays, he makes it worse. He breaks his hand. He does something that just messes him up even worse. Now during the off season, he has to worry about a way bigger, more serious surgery he has to deal with. Now he's sitting out longer. Now it's like, bro, if it's some minor, get it fixed now, so we ain't got to worry about it and come back. Like, come on now. And that's why Tiki Barber used to fumble the damn ball all the time, probably.
That's why he changed the ball differently. That's why he changed to this.
That's why he was fumbling all the damn time.
Remember he was this? Remember he went to this?
Yeah, I remember that.
So your guy can't do that for his team?
Listen, my guy, what he can do for my team, he went out there and ran for 2 touchdowns last week, 93 yards, looked great on the field.
Put something right under my face mask right here. Right under my face mask. You ain't getting that ball.
I'm punching that out from
how you gonna punch it out? Punch it out from what?
From that top point.
It's right here. Where you can punch it out from? It's not going nowhere.
I'm coming from behind. I'm hitting from the
behind what? Like you gonna go through my heart?
I'm sitting there. I'm putting up your shoulder. I'm punching down.
Mortal Kombat? How you gonna go and punch it down? My face mask right here. I got a face mask right
over
here.
the shoulder, JB. I'm coming over the shoulder. I'm coming over the
Put
shoulder.
it-
I'm putting it down.
Right here. What do you mean? It's not going nowhere though. It ain't going down. It ain't going. There's no air here. Look.
It's gonna be some air. It's gonna be some air.
Hell yeah, hell nah. Let's get the brass tacks.
Let's do it, D. Let's do it.
Smitty got to take these motherfuckers off, dog. God damn. Can Smitty take these off? Ever? I got a poll question. Is Smitty ever going to come on the show like Matt has and admitted CU's kind of fucked up now? Is he going to come on the show and admit that? That's a poll question. Is Smitty ever going to come on completely over to the dark side and say, I admit AR5 is a bust, Minshew's the guy, Jonathan Taylor's soft, the Colts have done a hell of a job coaching, has nothing to do with any of that other shit? Do you think that is going to be Smitty ever?
Hey, y'all, I would never come on this show and lie to y'all. So to answer that question, hell no. Because I care too much about this chat. I care too much about this show. I care too much about JB's crazy ass to come on this show, on this platform that I respect, that my name is attached. This is the Coach JB show with Big Smitty. So I would never put my name to something and come on here and just lie for clicks, for likes, for subscribers. And
Davis said, hell no, with an L.
Because I would never lie, Coach Davis. I would never come on here and lie. JB thinks that because I keep it real about the Colts, that I'm praising the Colts. No, I'm just giving you real facts. I got insight that y'all don't have. Because y'all not from Naptown like I am. Y'all don't know the coaches that I know at Indy. Y'all don't
he's lying like a motherfucker.
I know why D. Jones saying that. Because he's scared. The AFC South is for the taking. I thought the Jazz was going to walk away with that real easily, but I don't know. The Colts are right there. The Texans are right there. I don't know, D. Jones. I thought the Jazz was going to be Super Bowl contenders. Y'all supposed to be 8. Y'all supposed to be 8-3, 9-2, whatever. Right now. I don't know.
All right. We got 2 minutes. Let's talk about
a question, JB. Super chat.
Seth Luttrell, great offensive mind, great OC. Was at North Texas, did great things as OC, head coach. He's I've sat down many times with Seth. Great offensive guy, mind. He'll be fine in Oklahoma. Hell yeah, hell no. Here we go, Smitty. We're gonna take about 4 minutes to knock out 5 questions. The Lakers missed the playoffs. Hell yeah, hell no.
Woo, it would be crazy as hell, man. They looked real bad the other night. We haven't talked a lot of basketball yet, but they lost about 40 the other night. 44. I'm gonna say hell no.
44. Do you think Michael Jordan would ever got beat by 44?
Has he lost by 44 before?
I doubt it. You think Kobe would have got beat by 44 regular season?
The thing is, before I answer, they might have lost by 40 plus before. I don't know though. I don't know. Somebody look it up real quick. Sean Waffle, look it up, please.
In this era, soft as we are, in this era, where is AD at? Let's talk about LeBron. LeBron doing his thing. He's still the best in shape player out there. It's a shame that these other motherfuckers can't match his at 39 years old. You're a professional basketball player, younger. You can't get in shape and play like. I'm tripping on this, dog. Shout out to LeBron for just keeping his professional body in shape and ready to play. You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. And shout out to him for that. But other than that,
I'm gonna say hell. They make the playoffs, bro. Hell no.
You got 10 opportunities because everybody getting the playoffs now, so they should.
They'll at least be a play-in team, and I think they'll make their way in there. You know,
play-in team. All right.
Next question.
Hell yeah. I'm going to say hell yeah, they miss. And this is They break this shit up. Now, if they go get Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, which I'm hearing rumors about, then I like this Laker team. Who you get rid of? Because the Bulls are trying to blow it up out here. So if the Bulls blow it up and the Lakers go get Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Compton native, I like that.
That's my God, I interviewed DeMar a couple times, the Drew League a couple times. You know, he's been in the Drew League since he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
You got to give up Austin Reeves, probably. You got to give up somebody else.
Give that
motherfucker. But being real, we got to give your boy up D-Lo, probably. D-Lo, Austin Reeves, on 2 picks.
My boy, but D-Lo, we got to go.
D-Lo also
It's a business. It's a business.
I know.
Hell yeah, hell no. The Cowboys will win the Super Bowl.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that was fake. That was fake.
No, I ain't never heard no joke like that was the funniest shit you ever said.
That was real laugh?
Hell no. The Cowboys?
That was a real laugh, though?
Hell yeah. They ain't been to the NFC. They ain't been to the NFC
Big Smitty was
Championship.
showing his teeth, everybody. God.
They ain't been to the NFC Championship, let alone a Super Bowl, and to win it. Come on, bro. You sound crazy as hell. It's gonna be the Eagles from the NFC, the Ravens from the AFC, two brothers in the Super Bowl. The Eagles gonna win in the close one. Come on, bro. I'll tell you that from the beginning. JB,
We all
real
know
quick.
Big Smitty, actor. We've seen his short film. We know he's an actor. I think it was a fake laugh. Shout out to the fake
Hell
laugh.
yeah, hell no. Was my laugh fake or real, y'all?
They said fake.
Am
They
I
said
Tupac?
fake.
Am I acting?
Yeah, I think it was. In the beginning, it was good, and then I think you didn't breathe for like a 30 seconds.
I'm an athlete, Division I athlete. Great. I went to the doctor today. They said I got the best lungs in the nation. Top 10 in the world.
I got all that already, though.
I'm top 10.
Hell yeah, hell no. The 49ers beat the Eagles this weekend.
Hell yeah. I like that. Bang, bang, Niner game. They are back. Brock Purdy is hot. They're healthy. Trent Williams is there. Debo is there. When they got the full team around Brock Purdy, he succeeds. He wins. C-Mac is there. They're healthy. I'm already seeing Reddick talking shit from the Eagles. He was like, last year, it was a lot of what-ifs and coulda, woulda-ifs. Well, we going to see this week when we play again, man. All the excuses are going to get out the way. Woo, woo, woo. There it is, man. Oh, D-Jack retiring? Hey, D-Jack had one of the best careers, I would say, underappreciated careers.
Long Beach Poly in the house.
Baller. This guy's a baller. One of the best, if not the best, deep threat wide receivers in NFL history. I just said that. Between him and Randy Moss, look at the statistics. Deep ball threats. D-Jack was like no other. Big playmaker. He's still fat. He still run like a 4.4 to this day. Even late in his career with the Raiders, he had a couple big games where he's blowing past the safety.
So my boy recruited him to Cal. He played for him at Cal. And when Cal used to get a lot of LA kids, my buddy Darian Hagan's son was also there. Darian Hagan Jr. was also at Cal. And, they were like, oh, he's one of the fastest humans I've ever seen in a football uniform. Shout out to D-Jack. I'm going to say that 49ers, I say they win this one, but it doesn't mean anything. The Eagles have a buffer. They're 10-1. Hell no. Jonathan Taylor should play through the thumb injury.
If he can play through it and it won't lead to further injury, then sure, he should play. But if it could make it worse, then no. Get healthy, come back when it matters. We can manage 2 games without you with our schedule, and we're gonna be good to go, man. Come on, man. JB, real quick before I forget though, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Ain't it crazy though? Like, be real. Are you getting a little nervous at my Super Bowl picks? Because right now, the Ravens are the top team in the AFC, if you haven't noticed the latest standings, and the Eagles are the top team in the NFC, if you ain't noticed. I don't know. In the summertime, I was crazy.
Ravens are third.
No, I was crazy. You was laughing. It was
not worried. Not worried. Well, all my teams lost their quarterback. I mean, it is what it is. I gotta eat that. There's no excuse. I eat it. But I'm not worried about your picks. Hell yeah. Hell no. On the like button, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Blow this show up, break the algorithm. We need 700, 800,000 likes. A non-quarterback will win the MVP. Hell yeah, hell no.
Man, I want to say hell yeah. I believe it should be, but hell no. This league, man, they love quarterbacks so damn much. And listen, we all know that the quarterback position is the most valuable position of a team. We all know that. So because of that, this is literally a quarterback award. It's not a best player award. because no quarterback right now is the best player in the league. I can name probably 10 guys who are playing better than the best quarterback this year. But it's not about that. It's about most valuable. And when a football team does not have a quarterback, their team is two totally different teams. So I just think because of that, they're going to still give the edge to either Mahomes, Lamar, Jalen. One of these guys who are leading one of the best teams is still going to win. So hell no.
Hey, shout out to our main man here. Our main man Duke, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed this right here. See this right here? He's listed for 24,000 minutes. He's a top 1% fan. Shout out. Duke's in the Discord. Duke is everywhere. Shout out to Duke.
That's a lot of minutes, JB. Shout out to Duke, man. Like, you gotta get a hoodie or something. That's cold right there.
That is a lot of minutes. I'm gonna say hell nah. This quarterback's gonna win it. It is what it is. Quarterbacks win that award. Tyreek Hill, I don't know if politics are gonna come into play for that one. But I think that, you know, he's got baggage. I think at the end of the day, the voters still remember that shit. Let's be real. And I think the quarterback's going to get the job once again. So I don't know.
I'm with you.
That's just where I'm at. We got guys posting shit. I've never seen these before. Another guy, no better show than the Coach JB show. This guy listens for 20,000 minutes. He's a top 1% fan.
I like that. Shout out to you. We getting real love right now. We getting real love.
JG, that's JG.
Hold on. JG who?
I'm trying to his handle. I'm trying to make sure I read this right because it's kind of I got pause on it. What do you call it? What do y'all say? Pause?
Yeah.
Booty Boy J?
Oh, I mean,
I'm tripping. Time out, my bad. It's Boot Boy J.
That's pause on you. Don't do my boy Jay like that, man. You crazy as hell. He said Booty Boy Jay, man.
Booty Boy.
Oh my God. What's up, my guy? My guy B Watt, man. Brandon Wiley from back home, that town. Always supporting the show.
Far. I'll be in Vegas tomorrow and Friday. I might be just with Pat in the high roller room. I might just straight up just do the show live from there. Because why go to the room? Why go back to the room?
It might be good to do it. I do like a special edition show live, right? That might be kind of fun.
At 6 in the morning, because I'm probably gonna still be in that room.
Well, let me know so I can be prepared, bro. You know, be safe. If you're going out there, don't get no flat tire. If you do, let me know early so I can let the chat know that we won't be having the show. And other than that, man, hey, have fun. Turn up for both of them. Win some money. Go gamble. Win some money for the studio. We can get money. I can leave. You know what I'm saying? When me and JB talk like that, only me and him know like what we're saying, what we're talking about. He knows exactly what I just said.
Should I bet that? I don't know. Should I bet? Have a like button, man. Subscribe. I'm gonna go get ready to get on the road. I gotta meet Pat there by 2. It's 9.
And I got a big time call in like 3 minutes. So talk to me.
And we'll see. If it's big time, then it means everybody's involved. TikTok, pound the like button, subscribe, become a member too on my TikTok, on YouTube. Come on over. Maybe you guys won't be such BMKs. Great show.
Any last words, JB? Any last words?
Tomorrow's T-Rich Thursday. Trent Richardson will be back after we were off last Thanksgiving. I got the house decorated. Christmas is up. I got the tree. I got to do that. Somebody's going to decorate that while I'm gone.
Who?
I don't know. And we're going to get it going. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. The real Coach JB. I lost to Kelly in Vegas. By the way, shout out to Kelly in Vegas. If y'all know who Kelly in Vegas is, Barstool Sports, very own betting extraordinaire. Very beautiful Kelly in Vegas. She's been on the show a few times. We're really good friends. I bet her that KU would win 8 games 2 years in a row, and then I bet her that they would beat K-State. I've fucking lost 2 years in a row. She knows the upswing is on the way with Coach Lance Leipold, though. She texted me earlier, like, I hope that motherfucker gets out of there and gets another job. She knows he's going to build in a program there, plus the facilities that are going into Lawrence and KU. But she beat my ass 2 years in a row. It's going to cost me a pretty penny. I got to buy her some pretty expensive wine. Damn. So I need a super chat to handle the wine that I lost the bet on. So can y'all put a super chat so I can pay Kelly, who's from Manhattan, Kansas? Yes, she is. She's a K-State.
We didn't get no super chat today. We got like $10 super chat today. They ain't getting no super chat.
Hey, holiday's coming. Holiday, everybody broke.
Damn.
Everybody broke. Well, I'll give away shit though for the holidays. I will give away shit, so y'all make sure I'll give away shit. But maybe you could give away some too. Hit
that like, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to my man Duke. 24,000 minutes and counting, man. That's the type of support that we need. Hit that like button. We should have about 800, 900 likes from today. We're gonna be back tomorrow, man. JB, he might be in the room. He might be in the casino. He might be at the pool. He might be at the titty bar. He might, who knows where he might be at, man. But you got to tune in and be here to find out. Make sure you hit that like button and be back tomorrow morning.
Time to like, retweet our tweets, reshare our stories and our posts on IG, and pound the like, man. It's a great day to have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for T-Rich Thursday, as we got a couple special guests tomorrow as well. Big Matt will be back on, Steve Kim, T-Rich, and make sure you're there. As always, much love to everybody out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We want the games we're missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in.